Welcome into the Central Iowa Sports Network of our Week 2 CISN football pregame show. I am Blake Walker. We got a packed episode tonight before your Football Friday gets going. We're going to take a look at last week's highlights of our 3 broadcasts. We're going to take a look at the new top 10 rankings, and we're going to go and talk to all the coaches of the teams that are broadcasted tonight on CISN. All that and much more coming up here on the Central Iowa Sports Network CISN football pregame show, brought to you by Iowa Corn. Number 2 Dowling Catholic taking on number 3 Southeast Polk. How about on the very first play from scrimmage offensively for Southeast Polk? This is Abu Sama, 72 yards on the first play from scrimmage. Sama takes it to the house and scores. Southeast Polk's up 7-0 over Dowling. This is another one. Smolik to Cooper Nicholson in the corner of the end zone. A nice 14-yard touchdown throw to tie it up 7-7. This one, very nice to watch. This is Abu Sama. Watch the play here on the left end. Boom, a nice quick juke move to the outside. Sama scores. It was second of his 4 touchdowns on the evening. Another big play by Dowling Catholic. This is C.J. Phillip. A nice 14-yard rush right up the middle, rumbling, bumbling, stumbling right up the middle. Nice run for Dowling Catholic. Connor Moberly, another one that Southeast Polk had to keep an eye on. 17-yard throw by Moberly back to the other side to Sam Good. Nice throw, nice catch. Southeast Polk takes a lead going into the locker room. And then it was again Abu Sama in the third quarter. Runs into traffic but fights his way out of it, and he is gone. Southeast Polk defeats Dowling Catholic for the third straight time, 38-24. The Rams move to 1-0 on the season. Picking up here in the second quarter, Ankeny Centennial at Indianola. Drew Kingery catches it over the middle, gets laid out over the middle by Joe Talmadge, and then it's intercepted by Hudson Simon. An absolutely unbelievable hit. Simon makes the big opportunity. We move on to a little bit further in the game. This is Bruick. Goes right back to Kingery. He got nailed, and just a couple plays later, he's scoring a touchdown. Drew Kingery, 32-yard reception for the touchdown, gives Indianola the lead. And then it was Bruick and Kingery again. Another short pass. This one a little controversial. Kingery catches it, then drops it, but the ref calls it a touchdown because Kingery caught it, planted both feet, then the ball came out. I don't know, you make the call, but Indianola extends. 26-7, Centennial trying to salvage a game here. This is Trenton Smith, 24-yard touchdown pass to Chase Shuddy. Goes up and gets it. Moss is his man, but it's not enough. Indianola holds off a rally, 26-20. They defeat Centennial. West Des Moines Valley made it to the Dome last year, trying to repeat success this year. This was a double overtime thriller last year. This year, not quite that, but still a good one. Here's Brady Grisham, a 19-yard touchdown run, dives for the goal line and scores. Grisham had over 70 yards rushing on the ground. Good celebration there by Waukee Northwest to start their season. Michael Provenza tries to go to Bryce Anderson. He juggles it, and it's caught by Aiden Price for a touchdown. You'll take it if you're Valley in a game like this one. Another great play by the Tigers. How about Provenza again? This is an option keeper from the 3-yard line. No reason to pitch. He keeps it himself and scores into the end zone. Provenza had a pretty solid night for the Tigers to take a 14-7 lead. And then closing it, Valley's defense was the one that stepped up big at the end of this one. Hutchinson with a strip sack just 2 plays after he muffed a punt earlier. It was one of 5 turnovers on Waukee Northwest on the evening. Valley wins 17-7. They move to 1-0 on the season. And those were all the highlights from our 3 CISN broadcasts from Week 1. We'll take a quick break, and we will be back for much more, including a couple coach interviews. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network on the CISN Football Pregame Show Week 2, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Central Iowa Sports Network here on the CIML Football Pregame Show, Week 2 edition, presented by Iowa Corn. We got a couple coach interviews coming up for you from tonight's big game. Dar Danielson sat down with Coach Corey Kopatich, and I sat down with Coach Tom Wilson of Dowling Catholic to see how they thought tonight's game was going to go and talk about last week's games as well. Here are those interviews right now.
Joining us now is the Waukee Northwest coach. And Coach, let's talk a little bit first, assess that opening game. How do you think you did?
Well, it was a tough loss. I mean, I think we went into the game expecting to win the game. Hopefully we think that every game we go into, but it was a tough loss. I mean, Valley's a really good team, really good program. So, I mean, we knew that going into it. And, we turned the ball over 5 times and didn't make any plays on offense when we had chances to. And, So disappointing loss, but we have to learn from it and move on because every week's going to be a tough game just like that. But credit to Valley. I mean, they came in and they won the game.
Not to make excuses, but were those some of those first game things too that you get where execution isn't just quite as sharp as you want?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. I don't know. I mean, I know Valley. Valley probably say the same thing. They had some turnovers on offense. We did too, but. I don't know if you just got to find ways in games like that. You got to find ways to win. I mean, we're going to be in close games like this all year. I think we played pretty well on defense. Our special teams played well. Now we just have to find ways to make plays and win those close games.
Well, then it doesn't get any easier this week, is it? When you go up against this team, they lost, but it was a good. Tight ball game with another top team, which they all are in this league. So you got another big challenge ahead, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, Dowling's just like Valley. I mean, they've won 7 state titles in the last 10 years. So good program. I mean, they just reload every year. Lots of talent, very well coached. So it's going to be another challenging game on Friday. But we're excited about the opportunity, and we've had a good week of practice so far.
What do you think you have to do against them to be successful then?
Well, I think first of all, we have to take care of the ball. I mean, we can't beat anybody turning the ball over 5 times. So we have to take care of the ball first and foremost, and we have to continue to play great defense and special teams. That we've got to obviously they've got a really good quarterback. We've got to be able to contain him, and then offensively, we got to make some plays. We had opportunities there on Friday night to have some big plays, and we weren't able to do that. So, if we can do all those things and fix some of our mistakes, I think we'll be okay.
I think we talked about a little bit last week and how this first game you don't really have any tape or video of the new people they put in that. This week you have that. Does that help a little bit in preparation, or is it more about what you do to get your mistakes or things corrected?
Yeah, I think certainly that helps. I mean, it helps to have an idea of what you're going to see. But at the same time, like you just said, I mean, right now, I mean, we're really just focused on us and us getting better. That's been the focus this week in practice, and so we've got enough stuff on. I mean, obviously you have to be prepared for whoever you're playing, but right now we're just really focused on us getting better.
And I think you learned a little bit last year. It's a long season. You hate losing, but if you're moving in the right direction and keep working, those wins are going to come, aren't they?
Oh yeah, I mean, absolutely. Last year we just had to stay the course to make sure we're playing our best football at the end of the year, which I think we were last year. At the same time, I mean, when you have such a tough schedule, you got to win some games to get in the playoffs. But we want to be in a position at the end of the year where we're playing our best football and can make a run. And you look at a team like Valley. Every year that's what they do. I mean, they get better throughout the year, and they're always playing really well at the end of the year. And that's something that we need to do as well.
All right, Coach. We appreciate you joining us here once again, and good luck on Friday night.
Thank you.
So we're here with Coach Wilson of Dowling Catholic. Coach, thanks for your time. We'll start with last week. Obviously not the result you were looking for with the loss to Southeast Polk. Let's talk about that game just a little bit. You guys hung around there in the first half. It was a close game. And then Southeast Polk pulls away here in the second half. Just kind of hit on that game and what you guys can improve on the most from last week, and what, if there was some positives you saw from last week.
Well, I think at the end of the day, we were in the ball game against a really, really good opponent. And, we had a couple of scoring opportunities in the first half that we didn't take advantage of. But if you look at it, a few minutes left to go in the first half, we're up 17-14, and then they score and they're up 21-17 going into the half. And really what we needed to do was to get a stop and then do something with the ball at that point in time. And we did get a stop, and then didn't do anything offensively with the football at that point. And then, after that, we were playing from behind most of the way, and obviously abandoned the run and really started trying to ride Jackson Smolik a little bit and what he can do for our offense. But I think a lot of credit has to go to Southeast Polk. They're very good at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. They've got a Division I running back, and I thought their junior quarterback had an efficient night and a good night. And we weren't good enough to beat Polk at this time, and our job is to try to get better, maybe get a little bit healthier, and see what we can be as we move forward throughout the year.
Do you have any positives that you wanted to take away from Friday? I know Jackson played well for the most part. Was there anything else that kind of stood out for you?
I think at the end of the day, we scored, 24 points against a defense that I think is pretty good. And we were in the ball game against the defending state champs, and they're going to be a tough out again this year. So I think if anything, we can take some positives away that, we're with those teams. We may not be ready to beat them yet, but we're at least with them right now.
Let's look ahead to this Friday. You guys play Waukee Northwest. You won last year's game against them 17-10, but Jackson Smolik did not play. Let's talk about them just a little bit. They lost to Valley 17-7. Of the film that you've looked at, what stands out to you most about Waukee Northwest?
Well, I think offensively, I think they've got a quarterback that can move around, is athletic, can run the ball, mixes in the pass, probably wasn't as efficient as what they'd like him to be in that first ball game, but I'm sure Valley had something to do with that. Running back, I think, is a bigger physical kid that runs hard. I think they do a pretty good job at the line of scrimmage. Winter, who they moved to center, I think is a really good player. And then, defensively, I think defensive line wise, they're pretty good. They returned some experience at linebacker. I think two of those three guys played a lot a year ago. And I think in the secondary, I think that their athletic Stotts, their safety flashes on defense and also on special teams. So, I think punter kicker, they're really good too. So I think they're a good football team. Obviously, they came up short versus Valley. And I'm sure that there's a lot of things that they would like to do differently. And as you mentioned, it was a close game a year ago, and we figure we'll go there and have our hands full.
So you guys come away from last week with the loss. Last season, it was the same way. Lost Southeast Polk week 1. What's the message going into this next week, talking to your team during practice and whatnot, to keep the mood up and keep them confident going forward?
Yeah, I just think we have to improve an awful lot from week 1 to week 2, and I know a lot of coaches say that. A year ago, we're in a totally different situation in the fact that, we'd lost our quarterback, and we were trying to create a new identity for ourselves. And we think we have a pretty good understanding of what we have on offense. We've got to tackle better has been a point of emphasis. Sama had a lot to do with that, but I think as a whole, we didn't tackle very well. And, our kids have come back this week ready to get to work, and we realize that there's not many breaks in our schedule.
Well, Coach, we wish you the best of luck tonight, and thanks for chatting with us.
All right, thank you.
As always, we want to thank all the coaches for sitting down and talking to us. And we wish them all luck, best of luck, on their games in week number 2. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for final thoughts before we toss it down to the big game. You're watching the Central Iowa Sports Network and the CISN Football Pregame Show for week 2, brought to you by Iowa Corn.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we
are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Welcome back to the Central Iowa Sports Network here on the CISN Football Pregame Show for Week 2, presented by Iowa Corn. I'm your host, Blake Walker. Let's take a look at the top 10 rankings in Class 5A, shall we? Southeast Polk at the number 1 position after beating Dowling Catholic 38-24. As you can see, Abu Sama on the picture to the right. He was the main reason the Rams come away with the victory. They are the new number 1 team in the state. Ankeny drops to number 2. Beat Waukee, but we're trailing at halftime. A rough start for the Hawks. We're able to recover. They dropped to number 2 in the rankings. Pleasant Valley, the Spartans, number 3, looked very dominant in week 1. They return a lot from last season. In that wing T offense, they're going to be tough to beat, and they're a tough running game. Dowling Catholic drops to number 4 in the rankings. Urbandale is number 5. Valley, number 6 after their win against Waukee Northwest. They play number 1 Southeast Polk this week. Cedar Falls with a big win over Johnston. They sit 7th. Cedar Rapids Kennedy in 8th after their week 1 victory on a Thursday night. Linn-Mar, number 9, looking pretty good. And then on the eastern side of Iowa, or on the western side of Iowa, Sioux City East cracks into our top 10 ranking here in Class 5A. So there's a look at the polls. Moving on next, we're going to jump over to our top games to watch this week. 8 games we want to take a look at here on the Central Iowa Sports Network pregame show. First one being Ames and Fort Dodge. Ames looked pretty good last week against Marshalltown, led by quarterback Dallas Sauser. Dallas had one of the top passing performances in Class 5A. He leads Class 5A in passing. They take on a tough Fort Dodge squad. Should be a good matchup. Johnston takes on Urbandale. The Jayhawks look to move to 2-0 on the season. Johnston trying to rally after a loss to Cedar Falls last week. The big one, Southeast Polk takes on Valley. Southeast Polk won last year's game 40-21. Valley looked a little rocky in week 1. We'll see if Southeast Polk can continue the running game with Abu Sama. A big game every single time they play. Ankeny versus Ankeny Centennial. That is going to be a fun one to watch. Centennial won last year's matchup in an upset. Ankeny struggled against Waukee. They'll look to come back strong. Ankeny Centennial fell to Indianola week 1. Obviously, it's a home-and-home game at Ankeny Stadium. Should be a good one. Anytime Ankeny and Ankeny Centennial play, no matter what sport, it doesn't matter how good each team is, it will always be competitive. A sneaky good game over on the eastern side of Iowa. Linn-Mar takes on Iowa City Liberty. The Bolts last week got an upset win in Kinnick Stadium over Iowa City High, who was one of the top 5 teams going into the first week. They've dropped out of the top 10 ever since then. Iowa City Liberty looks to keep the momentum rolling. They are a Class 4A team, but Linn-Mar could be a big Class 5A victory going forward. Still be a big victory overall for Linn-Mar if they can get it done. Cedar Rapids Kennedy, number 8 in Class 5A, takes on Bettendorf. Bettendorf fell last week to Urbandale, but the Bulldogs are always going to be a tough out. Should be a good game there on the eastern side of Iowa. A game that a lot of people loved last year, Roosevelt versus Waukee. Waukee wants revenge. Roosevelt broke that long losing streak for Des Moines Public Schools against power schools, bigger schools here in the state of Iowa, here in the metro. Roosevelt and Waukee. Roosevelt with a win last week against Des Moines East. Waukee with a loss to Ankeny. The Rough Riders look to get a win and move to 2-0 on the season. And then Waukee Northwest versus Dowling Catholic, the second edition of this game between these two squads. Dowling won last year's game 17-10. Didn't have their starting quarterback Jackson Smolik, so he will take on Waukee Northwest for the first time in his career. Waukee Northwest and Dowling both trying to rally together after week 1 losses. Those are it up for us here on the Central Iowa Sports Network. CISN Football Pregame Show Week 2 edition. Once again, I'm Blake Walker. Thank you all for watching. We're going to send you over to Northwest Stadium for the big game of Waukee Northwest Wolves taking on the Dowling Catholic Maroons with Tyler French and company on the call. Tyler, we're sending it to you.
Out to Northwest Stadium as the host Wolves looking to bounce back to last week's loss 17-7 against the Valley Tigers, but it doesn't get any easier today, welcoming in number 4 ranked Dowling, coming off a loss of their own to number 1 ranked Southeast Polk in a game that was a lot closer than the final score would indicate. 38-24 the final there. 2 of Iowa's best doing action in week 1, and now Dowling, they're here on the road. They're trying to get revenge for how that game ended last week.
Yeah, you bet. They want to come out and show that they're still a top-ranked team. They don't want to, put 2 losses on the board at the beginning of the season. So we're going to have a shootout here.
And it's been a long time, really, since we've seen Dowling put up multiple losses this early on in the regular season. As, had that stretch run, 7 straight state championships, come to an end 2 years ago. And the last 2 years dominated by Ankeny and then Southeast Polk. Dowling trying to get back on top and led by another great quarterback under center, Jackson Smolik, the future Penn State Nittany Lion.
Yes, Nittany Lions.
As, had a great start to last year before an injury knocked him out for the remainder of the season, and he came out all guns a-blazing last week, over 280 yards and 2 touchdowns against the number 1 ranked defending champion Southeast Polk Rams.
Yeah, and that's what's crazy is he put out some really good numbers. They just didn't have enough. And really, from the scores we were watching, it looked like Southeast Polk kind of owned that game for a good part of it, but they just didn't, Dowling didn't have enough to finish it. and Southeast Polk held them back.
Yeah, Dowling had the lead late in the first half before a pretty good stretch run by Southeast Polk to close out the first half and open up the second half. A couple late scores for Dowling, just not enough to get them over the hump in that game. But they've got offense aplenty, a couple of great pass catchers at the wide receiver and tight end spot. It was Cooper Nicholson, the big story last week, 100-plus yards and those 2 touchdowns from Smolik. And as we saw last week, Northwest defense still trying to figure themselves out a little bit here early in the season.
Yeah, they had a little bit of struggles last week. Valley kind of spread the offense out where they did some option runs, and they couldn't contain them. So they've had their work cut out this week to square things up and get ready for Dowling.
And looking at a couple of questions for both teams coming into this game. For Dowling, how do you bounce back? You know, your passing game was fantastic last week. The running game was a little rough, and I think it's got to be your defense has got to step up, allowing 38 points last week. I think they got to come out and play a great game, and then will that defense be able to key on the run game? Northwest had a lot of success last week against Valley in the first half, but had it taken away in the second half when they focused in and took away senior running back Brady Grisham.
Yeah, and we talked about a lot on the broadcast last week is they had the running game going, but once it got shut down, they never established the passing game. And the stat that jumps off the sheet, Northwest only had 17 yards passing. And I don't think that'll cut it against Dowling. I think they've got to have a good balanced attack to trip them up. You know, you were talking Dowling last week was against Southeast Polk, the number 1 team, like you said. Well, that's hard to contain them. You expect a shootout when you got 2 top 5 teams.
And a big thing, too, is that, you know, the numbers are a little deceptive for Northwest because the run game produced over 150 yards last week against the Tigers. But when you look at Brady Grisham, 67 yards in the first half, 10 yards in the second half.
Yeah, they shut it down.
And Sam Johnson, over 70 yards on the ground as well. A lot of those just came on a couple big runs. Like, if you look at it consistently, this team had a couple big plays, but they couldn't put anything consistently together for the offense, and that's where it leads to, for the question marks for Northwest. How does this offense produce? Pass a game, like you mentioned, 17 yards, 4 of 15.
Yeah.
When you're going to complete about 25% of your passes in a game, and 2 of those completions went for 0 yards.
Right. And there were key drops on a couple of huge plays. One of them was for a touchdown. You know, so there were mistakes across the board, penalties in bad situations, you know. So they got a lot of cleanup to do, and, you know, they're not going to be able to do it on the fly against Dowling. They got to come in and have their game ready this week.
Keys to the game for both teams for Northwest. In all capital letters, pass the ball and no turnovers.
Right. And the turnovers, how many did we have last week?
5. More turnovers than the local bakery.
Yeah. It was a rough night out, and there were some, you know, bad situations where they fumbled. You know, they had momentum going and bang, cough up the ball. They got Valley to cough it up back, but they would give it right back to them, you know. So it worked against them, and, yeah, there's a key.
Second key for Northwest coming to this game, consistent pressure, and the player to watch to go along with that, Eli Moses had a forced fumble, a big couple of plays in the backfield, including a sack on the first drive against Valley last week. They are going to need players like him and that defensive line to step up tonight against a good quarterback in Jackson Smolik, who is our player to watch. Like I said, the Penn State commit, as Dowling takes the field, led by their tight end, number 88, Jalen Thompson, who, as this team has produced some really good tight ends, quarterbacks, receivers, and running backs over the years.
Wow.
And there's a reason this team won 7 straight state titles up to a couple years ago.
Yeah, you can talk to any football fan in Des Moines and mention Dowling, and everyone will talk about them being a top program. Plain and simple.
Former Dowling Catholic Maroon Grant Williams is going to be the starting running back for Iowa going to their game against South Dakota State tomorrow. Also a former Southeast Polk Ram before transferring to Dowling for his senior year back in 2019.
Well, there's a reason they won a number of state titles recently. And they had a dry run last, 2 years? But they're ready to put their name back up top again.
As the Wolves take the field here at home, led by Eli Moses, the senior defensive end. And like I mentioned, had a great game last week, and they're going to need some more out of him in this defense this week, as they did force 3 turnovers a week ago against Valley. And Smolik did turn the ball over in the passing game a week ago against Southeast Polk. And, Southeast Polk's defense reeling a little bit. The graduation of Xavier Nankpaw, the all-state safety, who is going to be getting some playing time this year for the Hawkeyes as a freshman.
Well, we talked about it a little bit last week, too. It's the exciting part about high school football is you're always going to have the changeover, just like college. That changing of the guard. You got new quarterback coming in, new running backs, new leaders on defense, and that's what keeps the game exciting. How are they going to play? How are they going to step up into that leadership role? And, you hit it with Eli Moses. He was an animal out there last week, and he just couldn't do it all because once they started running the option, they spread that field out and spread the defense out, and it was hard to stop.
The captain's getting ready to meet at midfield for the visiting Maroons. It is going to be number 4, Jackson Smolik, mentioned the starting quarterback for the Maroons. Number 35, Joe Hughes. Number 44, Ben Hoover. And number 51, Nate Agos. And on the other side, for your Wolves, Brady Grisham, the team's starting running back, led the team in rushing a week ago with over 77 yards. Eli Moses, the team's leading captain on the defensive side of the ball. Quarterback, Sam Johnson. And to round out the starting lineup is number 77, one of the top offensive linemen on this team, Cale Winter, the team's center, and a big player off the bench defensively for Northwest as well. And the Maroons will receive the kickoff after the opening toss is decided. So we'll see this Northwest defense get their shot at Smolik and the Maroons pretty quickly to open this thing up.
Yeah, we talked about on the way here today about Smolik. He was injured last year, so he's got like a chip on his shoulder to prove what he can do. And, again, a number 1 team out there with Southeast Polk last week. That was a difficult run. Now is the opportunity for him to show this is his team. So we'll see how that plays out.
And a couple good pass catchers for the Maroons. Mentioned it before, Jalen Thompson, the tight end, and Cooper Nicholson at wide receiver. Those are going to be 2 tough matchups that Northwest is going to have to try and put some extra defenders and extra defensive attention their way as well coming into this game. The returners that'll be going back deep for Dowling. That'll be number 5, Will Leifker, and number 20, Kenny James. Back deep to return. There's number 6, Jake Anderson.
Well, they're going to see what they can do. I think it seems like last week the kicking game was pretty solid. Strong kickoffs. I was shocked with them hitting the end zone a number of times. So we'll see if they can pin Dowling deep and start out on a strong note.
The lefty kicker, Philpott, will come out to kick this one away for Northwest. The black jersey is on display here in 90-degree weather to open up today's game. This one is going to be taken right at about the 6-yard line. It is James on the return, trying to work at the center up to the right side, and he is tackled. Nice return, but a pretty short gain. Overall, goes for about 20 even. So Dowling's offense, led by Smolik, will come out for their first play of the game, and we are officially underway with Friday Night Lights here at Northwest Stadium.
Here we go. Well, we'll see what Dowling has in their pocket.
Smolik will lead the offense out. 4 receivers out on the field, sending Nicholson in motion. Getting that hard count out there. He's going to drop back, deliver this one over to the side. Has the pass completed. That's Bo Gamble on the catch, and it's going to go for a gain of about 6 on first down.
It's a good, solid play to start out with. A nice short pass, but he had some room.
Rashad Davis getting the start at running back to open up this contest. C.J. Phillip also out there on the field as they're going to have both backs in the backfield with Smolik on this play. Thompson went in motion, and they're going to hand this one up straight up the middle. And it'll be a nice gain, and it'll be enough to move the chains as Davis Case takes the ball and gets 4 when they needed 3 to get the first.
Yeah, he got off the line real well there.
Play will come in from the sideline.
Looks like they're staying same personnel.
Leifer is going to split out to the left side. 2 receivers here on the right side with Gamble and Nicholson. Leifer going in motion. Look like a little bit of a blitz coming here off the left side. Pass over and completed. This one going to Cooper Nicholson again. Steps out of the first round of tackles, and he's going to move the chains again.
Yeah, it was a well-executed play. They had kind of a screen set up out there, and that gave them some good yardage.
So back-to-back first downs gained on the last 2 plays for Dowling as this offense starting to get some early momentum against this Wolves defense. Davis in the backfield with Smolik to the left. Sending Leifker in motion once again. He lines up on the right side of the line. They're going to run that way. Extra block over there with Leifker and Thompson. And Gardner tried to bring him down. Couldn't get a hold of him. Davis unable to pick up any extra yardage. They'll give him 3 on first down as he gets up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, they gave him forward momentum on that one. He got knocked backwards, but the referee stayed on that spot of forward momentum.
Leifker will come off the field with Hank Brown coming into the offense. He'll line up here on the near side. Gamble split out wide to the right as well. Thompson on the slot on the far side. As Brown goes in motion, trips now out to the left. Smolik in the shotgun. He'll turn, hand this one up the middle. A little shimmy shake there by their running back.
You noticed all the different formations. They're mixing it up really well.
Davis picks up another 5 yards and now setting up about 3rd and 1.5.
3rd down, 2 yards to go from the rim.
Likely 4-down territory here early on in this game. As we're about 2.5 minutes here into the first quarter, Dowling's offense has been getting where they wanted so far.
Well,
they're going to bring everyone.
Tight formation there.
Rashad Davis still the back in there. Picked up 4 yards on the previous play. 2 receivers tied in on each side of the formation. It's going to be a play-action pass. Delivers this one over, and it is caught as Nicholson on the reception. Nice little play-action pass. Had 2 options. Could have gone there. Had Thompson open a little bit shorter, closer to him, but had Nicholson downfield, finds him, and moves the chains. Again, 3 first downs in this drive already, and they are starting to threaten here early on.
Yeah, they're moving that ball.
1st and 10 coming up from the 33-yard line of Northwest. Pistol formation. Straight drop back, deliver over the side. A lot of quick passes delivered outside by Smolik so far. Hasn't had to worry about that pressure. And he's been throwing, picking up 6-7 yards on each completion. And the defense really hasn't been able to do anything about it so far.
No, that's the thing. The receivers are getting downfield. And even though it's a quick pass, they're getting downfield and getting open.
It'll be an empty backfield here.
Well, 5 split out.
See if Smolik can get a little bit extra time after the nice gain on first down. Still going with the hard count. Smolik dropping back, is going to roll out to the right side. Looks to take off and run with it. Was able to get past the first defender. As it looked like it was Chase Lamb trying to drive him for a short gain. He'll pick up an extra 3 yards and bring up 3rd and 2 coming up from the 25.
Yeah, that's creative call. You line up 5 wide, so you're going, oh, they're going to pass it. And you run your receivers out. They take the defenders and open up a nice hole. And you run to it.
Pistol formation here for Dowling as they'll have 2 receivers going in motion. Turn to hand this one off to Davis. Northwest unable to get any penetration, and it's going to be a 1st and some extra inside the 20. So Dowling able to get inside the red zone here on their first drive, and that is already their fourth first down to open up this game.
If you watch the replay, if we get one, the guard in the center, or the guard and the tackle from the left side pulled as lead blockers.
Little halfback trap option as they'll shift this one into a pistol formation. Smolik will turn, handoff again, and Davis looking for a little bit of extra room. Not much on this carry. Maybe give him 2 yards up to around the 15.
Tackle by Logan Stotts, number 3.
And it was a nice
stop there.
And a nice juke move to the left side really opened up those extra 2 yards. Otherwise, he probably would have been dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Defensive line ready for it on that play. Trevor Zarkowski on the defensive line, trying to create some momentum on the right side of the D-line. Lining up opposite of Eli Moses. Moses a sack and a couple of tackles for loss in last week's game. Smolik going to set up a wide receiver screen. Davis wide open. Defense trying to get some containment. Stiff arms the first defender. And Davis will get up right near that first down marker again, as he got the stiff arm on Klunder to get an extra couple of yards. And now 3rd and about 3 due up.
Yeah, he happened to step out of bounds, so they took him back a couple yards. But
From the Wolves' 10-yard line.
Smolik will turn this one off to Davis again. Defense can't bring him down at first, but they are going to bring him up short of that first down marker. So we'll see what the decision is here. With the way this offense has been moving, you got to keep him out there. I know that the well within the field goal range.
First drive, you're moving the ball. You should go for it. Yep, just short. Got a yard, a little over a yard to go.
Rashad Davis will head to the bench with C.J. Phillip coming out. Phillip, the bigger-bodied back at 5'10", 185 compared to the 5'8", 180 Rashad Davis. So maybe opportunity for some short yardage situation. 4 receivers will shift over to that left side, and they're going to get some extra blocking over there. And trying to bounce it outside. No one able to contain the corner. And Phillip will get in for the first touchdown of the game.
Yep, when he bounced it out, he had clear field there.
On an 8-yard touchdown run.
So C.J. Phillip from 8 yards out gets the first score of the game up here in the first quarter. 6:48 left. A nice long drive here to open up the game for Dowling.
Yeah, they shifted those 2 receivers over there, and they just blocked off that end of the line and opened up a hole for them.
Andrew Schumacher, number 16, is good.
Kick is up and good. Make it a 7-0 score here in the first quarter, as Dowling holds the ball for 5 minutes, 12 seconds, and just drove it straight downfield, 74 yards. The Wolves unable to stop them on 4th down, and not just the first, but also picking up the touchdown.
Yeah.
We're going to take a short break and be right back here on CISN.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that "oh rats" moment for your students. Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
We're back here on CISN as Dowling prepares to kick this one off. Fondell and Carter back deep to return.
That's interesting. They don't kick from the X marks the spot.
This one's going to be fielded by Carter here on the near side, trying to get a good return, but he is smacked at around the 27-yard line. Similar position that Dowling started with on their first drive. And we'll see what Sam Johnson can do here, his second game as a starting quarterback for Northwest. Had a rough first go of it, did have some success in the run game, but 3 fumbles and an interception. 4 turnovers for the junior quarterback in his first appearance under center. He'll be in the shotgun here with Brady Grisham, the senior running back, and they're going to pass here on first down, looking to go a little deep. Puts this one up and almost intercepted there on first down as the intended receiver, Cooper Shifus, had to play a little bit of defense there to knock it away.
Yeah, that was overthrown, and he had to play the defender.
Jake Anderson, the defender there. Great coverage in the defensive backfield. They'll go empty set here with Grisham, the lone back, in the pistol formation. It'll be a handoff to Grisham. Got keyed in on the second half against Valley, and they're going to do it again here. Only picks up about 2 yards to bring up third and long as Northwest tries to avoid the early 3-and-out.
Yeah, he's lucky he kept his legs churning because they had him stopped at 1 yard gain, and he picked up an extra one.
It'll be 3rd and 8 as Northwest probably going to have to go to the air on this play.
Yeah, and that's a tough call based on history.
Mentioned it as Johnson went 4 of 15 last week. Rolling out to the right side, delivers this one, has the completion to Shifus, but it is going to be just short.
Yeah, we're talking 2-3 yards short. That's a
And we'll see if they bring Philpott out. But it looks like the offense may be staying out. And, honestly, not a bad call. No, they will bring Philpott and the punt team out. It's tough. You're playing against a really good team. You got to try and take some chances. But early on in this game, you got to trust your defense to try and get the ball back for you. So Philpott will come to kick this one away.
Yeah, Dowling's not a team you want to give the ball to in the offensive zone. You got to play it safe.
For a second, it looked like it might have been a fake, but Philpott will get this one off rugby style. It's going to take a nice Northwest bounce. It'll land inside the 15 and it'll eventually stop rolling right around the 12-yard line.
Can't complain about that.
One thing we have talked really highly about in these first game plus for Northwest, Philpott has had some excellent plays.
Yeah, he's been really kicking that ball well, and you got to wonder if that was a read for a possible fake, the way he rolled out like that. We haven't seen that before. But he did get away and got a good roll.
5:07 left on the clock in the first quarter as Dowling will take over possession again. 3 currently split out on the current right side of the formation.
Oh, we might have a TV timeout with Channel 13 here. Yeah.
As Northwest, the offense continuing to struggle on that first possession. Saw him go to the air twice there, and at least we got a completion out of Shifus. And that's the type of thing you want to see. You want to see them maybe get that diamond dunk because that has been successful for Waukee Northwest a year ago with Carson Redding in at quarterback, and we'll see if they try to go to that and not try to take those shots downfield.
Yeah.
As Johnson has struggled with those the first 2 weeks.
Hey, get what you can get,
Smolik empty back set here, dropping back to pass, trying to set up a screen. A little over here, and great coverage as Chase Lamb comes up to make the tackle. The receiver on the play, Hank Brown, hauls it in, but it's going to be a gain of just about 1 or 2 and bring up 2nd and 8.
Good job by Lamb to hang on to him because the receiver was trying to spin out, and he just hung on to him and dragged him down. Big play.
Score is still 7-0 after the touchdown drive put together by Dowling on their first possession. And maybe a little bit running back by committee as it was Philip that knocked the touchdown in, but that was only his second carry of the entire drive. Got a play action pass here, looking over the left side. Smolik rolling out, looking downfield, has a man breaking open, and a beautiful pass delivered. It is hauled in by Cooper Nicholson, a gain of about 30 on 2nd down.
I don't think you could have thrown him better than that. That receiver just took it right over his shoulder.
And that is one of the reasons the Nittany Lion fans are going to be happy to see Smolik out in Pennsylvania here this next fall.
Yep. I know some family members that will enjoy that because they're from Pennsylvania.
A little bit of a tight formation here once again. 3 receivers on the left side. And actually, it was 2 and the left tackle. 2 receivers on the right side as well. Phillip in the backfield. It's going to be a handoff to the tight end on the end around as Thompson takes it, bullies over Klunder, and he'll pick up about 5 yards on first down.
That's a tough job tackling a big guy like that coming across the line. Yeah, they're throwing in a lot of different plays.
And they'll officially give him 6, so 2nd and 4. And that's one of the things we talked with Coach Swenson with Valley a year ago, his 27th year at the helm of the Tigers. It is the 18th year at Dowling for Tom Wilson, but his 30th year as a head coach in the state of Iowa. Almost got him on the hard fake here, so Eli Moses unable to get a jump on the snap. Phillip, a nice little footwork, and he's going to pick up the first and a couple extra down inside the 40 to the 39.
Yeah, that kind of left a little hole open when Moses was resetting.
And we'll see if Dowling's able to keep this offense going here early on, as they have just been chipping away in big plays here early on to go against this Wolves defense.
I got to believe that all of their plays have gone for positive yard.
Yeah, we've seen 2 short plays go for 2 or fewer.
Right.
But none of them have gone negative, as this one delivered over to the side and just out of reach of the intended receiver, Bo Gamble. As if he'd been able to catch that in stride and turn upfield, there wasn't really anyone out there. He would have been able to pick up the enough yards to move the sticks.
I think it got away from Smolik. I really just the way he reacted when he let go of it. I think it kind of slipped out because he knew he had an open receiver out there.
Danny Nielsen will come in for a little bit of extra size out there. The tight end 2 for Dowling. Going to fake the wide receiver running back screen and hand it off. Davis unable to get anything out. The ball came out at the last second, but they're going to call him down.
Yeah, I see one ref pointing at the ground.
Yep, Klunder was trying to rip that ball out, but it did look like the knee was down.
Where's our replay? Yeah. You know, I have to believe he was down. We'll see. Just the way the tackle.
Yep, that ball was
his
definitely
knee was
still
down.
in there when the knee came down.
Yeah. Good effort, but.
Another empty set here in the backfield for Smolik. 3 receivers out left, 2 out right, including the running back, Phillip. Smolik, a little bit under pressure this time, has a man breaking downfield, and in and out of the hands, as Hank Brown can't haul it in.
And I think it was a good defensive play on that one. I'll give it. Yeah, Carter Blakely, I think he got a hand up in there and knocked it out. Otherwise, I think it was a catch.
And it'll be 4th down, so the offense will remain out there as too far for the field goal attempt.
Yep. But what's good, at that play where they fumbled and he was down, it kept them short yards. So, they got a little bit to go here, not this short yardage stuff.
Smolik, one back in the backfield with Phillip. Going to roll this one out under pressure, delivers across the field, and it's picked off!
Hey, we'll take the turnover.
As the ball is intercepted. A great read on the play by Grant Mackey, and he picks off the future Nittany Lion. And honestly, may have been better just to knock it down if they lose about 8 yards. But you know what? You'll try to build any momentum any way you can.
Right. I was going to say, they lose 8 yards on it, but you do get a turnover. So, that puts it in the quarterback's head. You threw it away.
1st and 10 Wolves from the Northwest 33.
So we'll see what Northwest can do after the turnover, as they wasted numerous of them last week. But they'll try and take advantage here. 1st and 10. This one is going to be faked on the end around. Johnson's going to keep it up the middle, and a good gain as he picks up about 7 on 1st.
Very good read. Fake the defense with that the fake handoff, and it kind of froze that defense.
They were going to have Caleb James coming around the outside. Didn't see much action last week, but he is on the field for this 2nd down play. Grisham in the backfield, 2 receivers out to the right side as they send Shifos in motion. Johnson under pressure, looking to deliver this one downfield, over the head, and if he looked a little bit further downfield, he had Shifos wide open around the 35-yard line. Either way, the ball falls incomplete, and it'll be 3rd and about 2.5.
The way he is scrambling, I don't know if he could have gotten it that far down, but he overthrew his receiver, so maybe he could have. But when you're scrambling, you're hustling just to find an open receiver.
Under 2 minutes left here in the first quarter of action, as this game has been rolling along so far. Johnson in the shotgun formation. Grisham to his left. Wonderful to see Grisham here on 3rd and short. Play action pass, delivers it, trying to get it to Fondell. Falls incomplete, but there is going to be a penalty flag coming in, maybe holding on that throw.
Yeah, it's kind of middle of the defensive field, so kind of wonder about that.
Jared Rickey, the defender, out on the play for Dowling.
They're pointing. Oh, it's a offensive lineman downfield.
Receiver downfield on the offense. Penalties
So the penalty will be declined, so it'll bring up fourth down. We'll see what the call is here.
Yeah, now you're same thing as last possession. You know, do you go for it? At least you're on short yardage.
And it looks like Phil Potts will come out. As you can see on that play, the ball a little bit out of the reach. It wouldn't have mattered anyway on the penalty call.
You know, it's something we've talked about many times on, like watching the NFL, and you see those penalties out there. And I think it's something that football should take a look at and stretch that out a little bit because of the game has changed.
Phil Potts, a beautiful punt.
Wow.
And this one's going to be fair caught right at the 20 as Nicholson hauls that one in.
Good job of turning field.
So back-to-back 3-and-outs for the offense for Northwest. And both times they had a pass play, or at least one play that looked solid.
Yep.
But it was the same struggle last week, trying to string multiple strong possessions together.
Yeah, you need consistency happening. And, you know, it looks like maybe they're getting it. They're definitely running some different plays. They're going after that passing game a little bit more. Now, we'll see if they can just dial it in.
Defense led up a big pass play to Smolik in this offense last time they had the ball, but got the turnover on fourth down off the interception. Smolik going to turn and look this one to the left side. Has his tight end, Thompson. Thompson, I think this is going to come back for a block as Thompson got tripped up, a touchdown-saving tackle by Klunder. But where that pass was thrown, they may call a block in the back or holding here downfield.
I was thinking even interference. I don't know if he was blocking when the play went out.
Yeah, I think it could have been a pick play.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of wondering. Because he had that defense. Yep.
On the offense, number 80 was blocking downfield on the
So the call goes against the wide receiver, number 80, Caden Schumacher.
Yeah, because he had the defender blocked out. There's no way he could get over to the receiver. Old-fashioned
pick play.
Yep.
I think that's one Tom Brady a Super Bowl or two.
We won't go there.
So they'll back them up 10 yards, back inside their own 10. And the defense building up a little bit of momentum here. The penalty big there for Dowling, as it would have been 1st and 10 inside of enemy territory. Instead, they're backed up 10 more yards. Smolik in the shotgun, turn and hand this one off. And Davis is met in the backfield and dropped for a loss. And their first loss, as that defensive line got good pressure on first down.
Yeah, they did. That's what they need. You know, lock them up.
And it looked like it was Kai Crofta getting there for the tackle.
Now we'll see what Dowling dials up. I expect they're going to the air.
2nd and 21. They'll split two receivers out on either side of the formation. Rashad Davis, the back, he'll go out wide left as well. So, yeah, it definitely looks like they're going to go to the air here with no backs backfield. Smolik looking to deliver this one over. Has the pass completed, as it is a nice diving catch by Bo Gamble to get a couple yards. But it's going to set up 3rd and forever, and we'll see if the defense can hold, as we'll get at least one more play before the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, it looks like he got 4 yards on that, so not a lot.
Said before, this has been a quick-moving first quarter. Just 30 seconds left before we head to the second. 15 seconds left on the play clock for Dowling, as another empty backfield as they're going to try and heave this one up to get the first. They've had a couple big pass plays so far to open up this game. Smolik under pressure, able to step out of the sack, and he's got to take off and run with it. Has a man downfield. They let containment break.
Yeah. When he started running, the defense focused on the quarterback.
There is a flag on the play. I wonder if he was possibly past the line of scrimmage.
You know, I didn't even look at that. That could be.
As the ball was caught by Bo Gamble downfield around midfield. But the way the offense is coming back, I think this is going to be going against Dowling.
Yeah, it looked like everyone was pointing at Dowling. Yep.
Called it.
There you go. It's like you know your football or something.
And it's a loss of down, so
Fourth
they're going to
down.
probably punt this one away, and it
Oh, they
should
have
get
to,
really
yeah.
good field position. And you can see here on the instant replay, yeah, he was about 2 yards downfield from where.
Yeah, I hadn't even been watching that. Well, let's credit the defense on that one. Good job.
They're going to send Clunder back to return this punt. Not much wind out there at all. And Clunder's going to set up right around the 35. And Down's going to call a timeout. Coach Wilson out on the field, not happy with what he was seeing from his punt unit.
Yeah, they had a late player running on the field, but they still had 15 seconds left. I'm surprised they didn't just set themselves and go.
This should be the final play of the first quarter out of the timeout. Score 7-0. Down has scored first on the C.J. Phillip 8-yard touchdown run. As it was their first possession, defenses have been playing well the last couple of times out for both teams. And Northwest, this will be their third offensive possession after the punt. They've been unable to get anything going offensively. A pair of 3-and-outs so far. And we'll see if they come after this punt to try and possibly get a safety or maybe a touchdown on the defensive side. Has the punt block formation going to be out there? Clunder right at around the Dowling 35-yard line.
That's encouraging if that punt ends up there.
Hoping to at least get good field position out of this. Crowd calling for block that punt. Able to get it away. It is a high punt, but not a particularly deep one.
Ooh.
And it's going to take a Northwest bounce and be down at around the 31-yard line. It looked like that Clunder was calling for a fair catch and was interfered with. No penalty.
That's what I was looking at, too.
And that is the end of the first quarter. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back here with Dowling Northwest football on Central Iowa Sports Network.
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively.
relentlessly.
At your service.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Northwest has started around this spot, their first two possessions, but it was before the field flipped. So they are going to start deep in Dowling territory this time as they look to even this one up or at least get on the board to open up this drive.
Yep, that's what I like to call the positive side of the field for the offense.
15 yards of total offense on their first two drives, both ending in 3-and-outs. As a TV timeout, almost finishing up here as Channel 13 News also joining us. We're happy to have you along with us here on Central Iowa Sports Network, though, as this will be your home before Wolves sports all season long.
You bet. Yeah, we're very happy to partner up with them and calling the games with them by our side and working together.
So Northwest takes over at the Dowling 33-yard line after a short punt. Net yards of only about 24. Clock resets to 12.
Yeah, they forgot that.
The crosstown rival for Northwest as Waukee winning 3-0 as they are on the road taking on Roosevelt over at Drake Stadium tonight. It'll be a pistol formation. It's going to be a handoff to Grisham. Grisham, a nice hole on the right side. Bowls through and some positive momentum here on first down.
Yeah, great job there.
Just the second carry of the game for Grisham, and he picks up 9 yards to bring up 2nd and 1. And honestly, right here, I think this is a great time. You do a play-action pass, try and go for the end zone.
9-yard gain. Yep, I agree.
When you get 9 yards on first down, this is your best opportunity.
You got two receivers up top that take a shot.
An extra blocker in the game as well. This will be handed off to Grisham again. He's going to meet first contact and lunge forward, pick up the first down.
Tripped up on
Well, that's why we're in the booth and not on the sideline.
That is the first Northwest first down of the game. And we'll see if they can ride this momentum into a potential scoring drive here as it's 1st and 10 coming up from the Dowling 21-yard line.
I tell you what, they can punch it in on this drive. This will light that team up.
Johnson turns, hands this one off to Grisham, and he is smacked in the backfield. Defense had a big blitz coming from the left side, and it's going to be a loss of 1. And this has been the kind of thing. They get a little tunnel vision for Northwest. When you get a couple run plays in a row, they continue to go to it. After that success, you got to look to possibly get the ball in the air, whether it's a play action or even just a wide receiver screen set out wide. You've got good speed out there with Fondell and Carter. Find a way to get them the ball in open space.
Right. You've got to keep the defense honest.
Caleb James in at the up back position. He's going to go in motion. They're going to play action pass the ball to him and trying to get it to Grisham, and no gain on the play.
It looked like a good setup, but the defender was all over him.
Defense was able to read that from a mile away as James comes off the field now.
And they had a good play called because the blitz is coming in on the backside, and they knew it.
Montgomery will come off the field as well with Adams and Schifos coming back out. So 3 receivers on the left side of the formation. As splitting out wide left, you've got Carter, Fondell out wide, as well as Schifos in the slot. Adams trying to set some blocking up front. A quarterback draw on 3rd and 13.
Oof.
Goes nowhere. Likely 4 down. I don't know if they're quite going to attempt the Gearhart field goal from this distance.
That'd be tough.
But it looks like they are going to attempt it.
Yep.
As Gearhart's going to come out. Christensen, the holder.
You figure 4 straight downs, and they got -1 yard. Actually, more than that, downs. They had, 2nd down? About that spot on the field.
Mm-hmm. So it's going to be about a 40-yard kick. Kick is up, and it sneaks in just over the crossbar as Gearhart knocks through his first field goal of the year.
I don't know. It's a tough one to follow. There you go. Put points on the board.
We'll take a short break and be back to highlight some of that drive for Northwest. You're watching Northwest football on CISN.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
The Gearhart field goal good for Northwest as they finally get on the board with 9:10 left in the second quarter. Philpott will come back out to kick this one away. Had great starting field position, got their first down, but then were unable to move the ball anywhere as this one's going to be fielded by Davis at right around the 5-yard line. Going to come out, try and break it outside, but he's going to be dropped inside the 25, and that is where the offense will come back out, fresh off a 3-and-out. So 1st and 10 for Dowling. And we'll see what they'll draw up for Smolik as the passing game had a couple of big plays early on, but has been held silent since the midway point of the first quarter.
Yep, Northwest dial up the defense real well and, make them work for it. We'll see what else they got in the bag of tricks.
Phillip will be the back out in this formation as he's going to take the handoff right up the middle, try and spin back inside, but Chase Lamb right there doesn't let him get much further downfield. Picks up about 3 on first.
Tackle led by Chase Lamb, number 32.
Ty Crofta and Chase Lamb have made some good plays along that defensive line and linebacker spot so far in this game to open things up.
Yeah, we've called Lamb's name a few times already.
3-yard gain, 2nd and 7.
Lamb and Gardner, the heart of that linebacking core. You can see them there on the screen for Northwest, 32 and 45 respectively. Nicholson in motion, line in there, guarding him defensively. It looked like a potential blitz coming off the right side, and that's exactly where it's going to come. They're going to hand it off up the middle as Eli Moses grabs a hold of the legs of the running back, C.J. Phillip. He'll pick up about 2 more yards, and he'll bring up 3rd and 5 from the 30-yard line.
Yeah, it's good to call Moses' name. He's been quiet, but I think they're probably doubling up on him.
3rd down, 5 yards to go for Dowling.
Looks like it's going to be an empty backfield as they'll split 2 receivers out here on the near side.
It's wild watching 5 receivers out.
Bo Gamble on the bottom of your screen has made some big plays this game so far. Under pressure, trying to roll it outside. Smolak looking to take off up the middle and runs over the defender and keeps going.
Wow.
Clunder able to bring him down finally, but what a run
That
by
was
Jackson
outstanding.
Smolak.
He dropped that shoulder and dropped that defender. Yeah, that's going to be a good replay.
As Smolak was under pressure, felt the pressure and able to step up in the pocket and rolled over the defender. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 45. Goes for 25 on that run.
Yeah, got to give him credit on that one.
Smolak going to drop back and look to pass this time.
Going
Looking deep on the double move. And that's going to be pass interference.
There it is.
As Mackey was trying to get a hand out but never turned for the ball. If he'd been able to turn around, he had great position on the ball to knock it away. But another nice pass there from Smolak, and he's going to get 15 free yards for his offense.
Yeah, I think it's just trailing that ball enough, or trailing the receiver enough that he just had to reach up.
And you can feel the momentum shifting after holding him to a punt or holding him to a field goal attempt. This offense is coming out trying to bounce back after back-to-back 3-and-outs.
Result of the penalties, 1st down, Dowling.
Yeah, it's 2 big plays turns that whole field around.
They're going to go the tight formation again as Smollett comes up under center. Phillip in the backfield. They're going to hand it off to him, and he's going to be met in the backfield and dropped. Hunter Smith, the defensive end, there to hold him for no gain.
Tackle by number 11, Harry Linen, and number 9.
And it'll be 2nd and 10 from the Wolves' 30-yard line.
It's interesting when they go to the
2nd and 10.
The no receivers out because, you know, it's like you're not going to run the ball. I mean, you're not going to pass the ball. And so the defense collapses in the middle.
There'll be a shotgun formation with Phillip to the left this time. And they're going to go play action pass. Smith, another good penetration, looking deep. Pass is dropped.
Oh.
And it might have been the late hit by Clunder that knocked it away. The intended receiver, Trey Wilson. It was a beautiful pass thrown downfield. But I think Wilson just had to settle underneath it a little bit. Wasn't able to hit him quite in stride.
Yeah, it looked like a really nice pass. And
I think that should have just been brought in. I think that was just dropped.
It's kind of bang, bang. You know, it hit his arm. He wasn't really catching it, but then he got hit.
Yep. So the drop touchdown pass brings up 3rd and 10, empty backfield. Smollett delivers this one over the middle. This one is hauled in, and it's going to be right at that 1st down marker as Nicholson brings in another catch, and they'll move the chains.
Very good call, that crossing pattern. That receiver just threw his hands up, and he got hit.
So after the 25-yard run and 15-yard penalty, the offense moves the chains again on 3rd and long. Gardner there in coverage, just unable to get in stride. And it ends up in a pass completed for the 1st down. 5:57 left here in the 2nd quarter, over halfway through the 2nd quarter of action. Turns, hands this one to Phillip. A little bit of jumping around, but he's only able to pick up maybe a yard on the 1st down play. As Phillip is dropped, Gardner in there on the stop, as well as Harry Linen.
Tackle made by number 45, Adam Gardner.
Yeah, it looked like Linen was on the ground and reached up and grabbed his legs and just tripped him up.
As well as Aiden Verity.
Johnston picking up the win earlier today, 24-7, as they were worried about some inclement weather. Kicked off at 5:30. And it'll be a different quarterback here on this possession. And it's going to be a big loss as Crofta able to jump that play. Dante Cataldo was in at quarterback on the play. And he'll come back off. Don't know if they were trying to do a little bit of wildcat or what the call was there. As Smolik will come back out in the field, but now 3rd and 12 coming up back at the 21. And obviously we know that this offense can pick it up in a hurry, but that's a big play for the defense with a stop on 2nd down.
Yep. Moving back a couple yards, that helps.
Looking deep over to the right side. Had Nicholson, but just out of reach. As Nicholson went up for it and just off the fingertips of the intended receiver. And it looks like they're going to bring the kick team out to try and put this one through the uprights.
Yep. They're not really moving the ball right now. Go for the points. But that pass, it looked like it was going to be there. I think it kind of turned that the receiver around a little bit. And
I think Nicholson was looking a little too early because he stopped his full run as well.
Yeah.
As the kicker, Andrew Schumacher will come out to try and knock this one through. Kick is up, and this one is good. Makes it back to a full score game, 10-3. We'll take a short break and be right back here on CISN.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
Schumacher will come out to kick this one away for Dowling as they retake the 7-point lead. 10-3, 4:27 left before halftime. So Northwest will get the ball back, see if they can put a first solid drive together. Only one first down through 3 drives. They were able to get a field goal their last time out, but that was after they started at the Dowling 32-yard line. This one will be a shorter kick as Gardner's going to take it around the 6-yard line. Working his way back into the middle, running more east-west than north-south, and this is going to come back because of a flag. A great return here by Gardner, but it's going to come back, I believe, due to a holding or block in the back on the far side of the field.
That was a good run, and the flag is behind the play.
And it's going to be a holding call. Call goes against Mackey. That is his second big penalty of the game as he got called for the pass interference on the last drive for Dowling.
Let's see if we can pick it up on the replay.
Yeah, it was right there.
Someone went down, yeah. Too bad.
Yeah, it was over on the far side, right at the edge of the screen. And not only do you lose the big return, but you're going to lose 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Right.
So you're back at the 11-yard line when you were going to start near the 40. And you got to avoid a 3-and-out because you could set up Dowling with great field position with still 2 timeouts. It'll be a handoff to Grisham up the middle, gets tripped up, picks up a couple, but not much.
I don't know if he got one.
I think they'll give him 1 full yard.
Yeah.
Passing game continues to struggle in this game. Just 1 completed pass for 8 yards. And this offense has really only been able to produce about 24 yards of offense.
Yeah, that's true because they've been knocked back, and they got to put something together. They just have to.
Northwest will get the ball to start the second half, but trying to avoid going down 2 scores before then. This one will hand off to the outside as Grisham was trying to get the outside, but instead is going to be dropped for about a 5-yard loss back inside the 10. Great recovery and pursuit by Joe Hughes.
Oh, yeah, good pursuit. You know, Grisham tried to shake him off, and I was like, nope.
So trying to avoid the 3-and-out as he loses yards back to the 8. And it'll be 3rd and forever. So we'll see if they look to try and run the ball to take more time off the clock or force Dowling to use a timeout, or if they'll try to pick up the first. Johnson, it'll turn, and another handoff to Grisham, trying to break it to the outside. Is able to for a second, but good recovery by the defense as Will Leifker, it looked like, came over to make the tackle.
And here comes punting unit. It's, basically they got 0 yards overall on it.
So another 3 and out.
I got to pose the question: do you take a look at Christensen? Is it really Johnson's fault, or do you try to spark the offense? I don't know. They got to get yardage.
4th down as they're trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Phil Potts has had a really good game punting the ball. This one's going to be a short punt, though. It'll take a nice northwest bounce back inside Dowling territory, but they will get good field position right at about the 44-yard line. 2:15 left on the clock in the first half of action. 2 timeouts on the board for the Maroons. And a quarterback with a cannon of an arm and a couple of really skilled receivers.
Yeah. And like there's a couple times he's had a little bit of a pump fake, and then he just lobs it out there downfield and leads the receiver well.
And Dowling should have had a touchdown on their last drive.
Yeah, they had a couple chances that were dropped.
Empty backfield for Smolik. 3 receivers here on the near side, 2 split out to the right. Smolik steps out of the sack opportunity. He's going to take off and run with it. Looking to try and get out of bounds, but good containment of the defense. He'll be dropped at the 49 of Northwest.
They still got 2 minutes. They got pretty good time. If they run a hurry up.
And again, with the passing attack that this team possesses with Smolik at QB, you can take as much time as you need, plus you still have 2 timeouts in your pocket.
Well, I think if there wasn't pressure, he was probably going to throw downfield.
Davis, a little bit of extra help there. He's going to be under pressure again. Stays behind the line of scrimmage, but knocked down. Chase Lamb again. He's been the story defensively so far. A couple big stops and tips that pass right at the line of scrimmage. And it's going to bring up 3rd down now with 1:37 left before half.
And I'll tell you what, I got to say, Smolik was close to that line of scrimmage. I was watching for that one this time. He was dancing right at that line of scrimmage.
Smolik will be alone in the backfield. 3 receivers out on the right side. Gamble here on the near side. Smolik looking over and has an intended receiver. Had the first down, stepped out of it, but now able to make a couple men miss. And he's going to get downfield, move the chains, and then some more. The play goes for about 16, and that'll be a first and an opportunity for a couple shots to the end zone with 1.5 minutes left.
And I got to wonder on that tackle, did he get him out of bounds or is he inbounds? And they wound the clock, so he was inbounds. They stopped it just for the setting of the chains.
And Northwest is forced to burn a timeout. Otherwise, there would have been too many men on the field. Crofta coming off late.
Yep, that hurry-up offense caught him.
And now we get an opportunity for this offense to meet with head coach Tom Wilson, as well as the rest of the players on the sideline, to go over some strategy. 1st and 10 from the Northwest 32-yard line. 1:18 left on the clock. And still 2 timeouts for Dowling.
And, I got to say, overall, it's not a bad time to take a timeout. Even though they had to call it right now, it gives them a chance to kind of reset and make a plan. But it gives Dowling a chance to talk about things too. So we'll see how it goes. But, yeah, you got to believe, man, 18, Dowling's got to take a couple shots. I don't know if they want to risk it too much of letting that clock run down.
Last play officially went for, I believe, 17, going from the 49 to the 32, and set up great opportunity with just over a minute left in the first half for Dowling. As this is going to be a play-action pass. They're looking deep, a little bit of help, safety help over the top, so they'll throw it underneath to Thompson. And he's going to be driven out, but they are going to say his forward momentum stopping.
But they stop the clock to set the chains, but they'll restart.
That's fine. Play only took 6 seconds off the clock
Right.
and moves the chains, gets you a fresh set of downs, and gets you 10 yards closer to the end zone is the big thing. Clock ticks down to a minute left here in the first half. They'll hand this one off this time. Defense not ready for it as Davis gets a big hole. He's going to slither his way into the end zone. 21-yard touchdown run for number 24, Rashad Davis.
And there it is, twisted up. They didn't throw it. They ran it.
And he stepped out of a couple of tackle opportunities and I don't think anyone touched him until he was in the end zone.
Yeah, not really. There were some arms swinging, but he was zigzagging his way through it. It's a very good run.
Kick is up and good, makes it 17-3. That is the second straight week that Northwest has given up a touchdown with under a minute left in the first half. We'll take a short break, and we'll be right back here with the final minute of the first half of action.
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
49 seconds left here before halftime. Score update, Ankeny Centennial winning their contest 10-3 as they approach the halftime break. Our score is 17-3 in favor of the number 5 Dowling Catholic Maroons, as they are looking to try and go up big in this game, up 2 scores now, and see if Northwest can do anything with it with 49 seconds left on the clock. A good return would be a big step forward. It's going to be a squib kick, and it's going to be...
That ball's bouncing around.
And I think Dowling might have gotten it back.
Yep.
The kick is loose.
Dowling players are saying they got it.
And it is going to be Dowling football off the kickoff.
Oh, my.
It appears it's Jimmy Wanick, number 41.
And they're going to have an opportunity. Still 46 seconds and 2 timeouts. As you watch this kick, as it bounced between a couple Northwest players, they had the opportunity right there, but it squibbed out at the last second.
Yeah.
As it looked like it was number 25, Matt Lindholm, unable to jump on top of it. So Dowling's offense will be right back out. This defense has got to be tired. So Smolik, drawing back a little bit extra protection. Has a beautiful pass set up downfield. And in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Gamble. But there is a flag on the play.
Yeah, I wonder if there was a tug going downfield or something. No, actually, I think the receiver pushed.
Wait to see what the...
Ineligible receiver
Oh.
downfield on the offense. The tight end is covered up.
So it was an ineligible receiver downfield. It is the second time that call has been made in this game, first time against Dowling.
Yeah, I thought it was, the way the flag was so far downfield, I thought it was more with the receiving group that, you know, the receiver and defender.
Still first down, 15 yards to go.
So Dowling trying to get another score up on the board and try and make this at least a 20-3 game before half.
Yeah, what do they got to lose? Well, they got their score. This is bonus time right now.
Sending Nicholson in motion. He'll run back to the outside. Smolik, not much pressure, delivers this one over. Gamble able to haul that one in. But I think there's another flag on the field once again, right at the line of scrimmage on the far side of the field. 34 seconds on the clock currently.
We'll wait for the call. Ineligible again. That's interesting.
And I think it's just been the positioning of the tight end both times.
Ineligible receiver
Yeah. It's a formation thing that's causing it.
And I think they're going to make that change, taking the tight end, Danny Nielsen, the number 2 tight end for Dowling, off the field, bringing an extra receiver in.
Yeah, I was going to give Lehman credit for a good tackle on it.
So 5 more yards, backed him up. Smolik under pressure, delivers this one over. What a catch by Nicholson, able to absorb the contact. And I think that'll draw a timeout from Dowling.
I got to look if we've got the stats. We don't have it of how. Yeah, we do. What was that, number 8?
Yeah, Nicholson over 100 yards a week ago.
I was just curious. Guy, he looked taller out there. He's only 5'10". And just the way he went up with that ball, he looked so lanky.
So Dowling looking for a late score and a nice play here on 1st and long to try and get them back into better position, as it was a rocket off the hand of Smolik, and Nicholson hauls that one in.
Well, and you said it, the rocket. You know, he's got a great arm, and he can throw that ball.
And honestly, I think they look to get a short first down here, maybe get out of bounds, and then take a couple shots to the end zone. As if you get at least the 25, you're within Schumacher's kick range.
Yeah. You got one timeout to protect you. And even if you can get that first down, you'll stop the clock for a little bit, do a hurry-up offense.
So 2nd and 4.
Let's see what they dial up.
Empty backfield, as Northwest has had some opportunities on pressure, but Smolik yet to go down in the backfield, and he's handled pressure well. Just a 3-man rush coming up here as they're going to set up a prevent defense. And there should have been holding there on the outside.
You would have thought so.
Delivers this one downfield, has a reception. And what a play there for Dowling as he gets out of bounds. 15 seconds left on the clock as Gamble made the catch. And great awareness by Smolik, not just, but you can see here on the left tackle, he was hooking Moses on the right side.
I would have called that. And the receiver stepped out of bounds, so that kills clock.
So 15 seconds, 1st and 10 from the 14. You get maybe 2-3 opportunities to the end zone, depending on how quick your play is. And then you bring out the field goal unit.
Oh, I think you get 2 plays.
Smolik looking over to the side, has a man, and knocked away. Ruled incomplete at the end zone. Took 5 seconds off, so this will probably be your last shot.
Yeah, I was waiting to see if that receiver was going to go off because he got tagged. Is that the tight end again? I didn't get his number. I think it's 88.
That's good defense there by Carter Blakely, the defensive back on the play. 10 seconds left before halftime. Davis will come back out onto the field, had a touchdown on their last drive. That's been the big thing, is this offense has put 3 scores over the board. Jackson Smolik has yet to find the end zone.
Yeah.
As it's been the running backs that have been able to pick up the touchdowns. As Rashad Davis had a great carry for the touchdown on the last drive.
Not only before the snap, delay game, offense.
So a delay game called against the offense. They'll back it up to around the 20, and it'll be still 2nd down.
Interesting. That's a mental mistake right there.
Especially since that's 5 more yards that your team has to try and cover. Getting down, that's going to take more time off the clock.
Yeah, that's strange. You should be watching for that.
Smolik in the shotgun. Low snap, able to pick it up. Looking towards the end zone. Has Nicholson, and it's hauled in for the score.
And there's the bonus touchdown.
Touchdown with 4 seconds left. Nicholson with the touchdown catch, his 3rd of the season. And Dowling puts up their 3rd touchdown here in the first half, 2nd in the last minute.
Right between 2 defenders.
Makes it 23-3, barring the extra point. Kick is up from Schumacher, and good. 24-3. We're going to take we'll keep it right here as Northwest, a disastrous final minute here in the first half of action.
Yeah, they got some talking to do at halftime. They got to figure out what they're going to what they're going to bring against Dowling. Dowling's just dominating this game. You know, and especially when you look at stats, they're dominating.
Northwest has had the ball 4 times in this game and a total of 30 yards here in the first half. And the kickoff, I would assume, will be the final play of the first half of action.
Should be, depending on how the kick is. But, yeah, I mean, if you put up 30 yards in the first half, you know,
and I
you
think
can't
that's being
keep
generous.
up with Dowling.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the best we can come up with, and it's probably close.
The offense has struggled to move the ball, let alone put up points. Just the field goal, and that was after the short punt set them up at 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, we haven't even seen Grisham really break a bunch. You know, he's got a couple good runs, but he's quiet when he was the offense last week. So it's very quiet down there on the field.
Fondell and Carter back deep to return on this kick. Schumacher kept it short, and Dowling was able to recover their last one.
Again, it's so weird that they line up off the X. But it splits that field up.
This one will be launched a little bit further downfield.
And gets in the end zone. So we have no clock run.
So the offense will have to come out for one play, barring a defensive penalty. It has been a rough first half for the Northwest Wolves. Started the game with back-to-back 3-and-outs, and that was the only times they touched the ball in the first half of action. Didn't get their first down until 11:24 left in the second quarter. Ended up with a field goal as this one handed off to Grisham. He'll pick up about 2, maybe 3 yards, and that will do it here in the first half. Northwest allowing 2 late touchdowns in the first half after unable to recover the squib kickoff. Dowling with 2 scores to open this game up. Was 10-3, now 24-3 in the final minute of the first half of action. We'll take a break and be back with some halftime stats and analysis as we look at a dominant first half of action for the visiting Maroons. We'll take a break and be right back here on CISN.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are
We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors.
Community protectors.
And clean energy leaders.
We are
Job creators.
Friends and neighbors.
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
Behind your everyday.
And we are
Obsessively.
relentlessly.
At your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
Northwest, a struggle to close out the second half as Dowling put up 2 late touchdowns in the last minute of the first half. As they scored the first one, recovered the kickoff, and then were able to put a touchdown up with 4 seconds before halftime. Otherwise, would have probably been a field goal, as the first one was a huge run from Rashad Davis, who we've seen both running backs get a couple of opportunities here in this game, C.J. Phillip had the first one in the first quarter, 8 yards out, but Rashad Davis, a beautiful run on that second touchdown, going in basically untouched from 21 yards out.
Yeah, great runs by both of them. You know, split the defense and found the promised land.
And one of the things has been you've got to respect this passing attack for Dowling, as Jackson Smolik has shown it quite a few plays in the passing attack, but also able to step up and run with the ball as well. Had a great touchdown, a great run that helped set up that touchdown or that field goal for Schumacher about midway through the second quarter. But that offense has been clicking late in both games for opposing teams against Northwest.
Yeah, you said it. Smolik has made things happen. You know, and he's getting pressure in the backfield. He scrambles out, and it's just turned out that he looks upfield, and he's got an opening. And he just takes off running, you know, and has picked up a lot of yards from that. So, yeah, he's doing what he needs to get it done.
And I want to take a look back at what we said was our keys to the game for both teams and the questions each team had to answer. For Northwest, it was, can they contain Smolik, and could they move the ball without turnovers? They haven't turned the ball over yet,
right?
But they have been unable to move that football in this game, under 30 yards of offense to open this one up.
Yep. You know, we were just talking about that. You know, Grisham was basically the offense last week, and he's not getting a lot of yards. The passing game, it's just not there. And so that's low yardage for a team to put up for a half and expect to be in the game.
Yeah, that's going to be tough against any opponent, but when you're playing one of the top 5 teams in the state, not just this year, but every year for the last decade plus.
Mm-hmm. And really, you know, it's something they've got to figure out, because you look at this conference now and you've got top-ranked teams across the board. And so it's a fight. You got to play as a top team, or you end up on the bottom.
We do have a score update from Ankeny, as Ankeny tied the game up going into halftime, 10 apiece. As Ankeny, the number 1 ranked team in the state, playing with their one of the top-ranked quarterbacks in the entire country, J.J. Cole, the 6'6".
Yeah, it'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, he's going to be headed to Iowa State in the fall, as Iowa State able to capture some big in-state talent in a couple different sports. Omaha Blue, who we'll see come basketball season in the CIML. And he'll be headed to take on play for the Iowa State Cyclones at this next fall. And on the other side, Bryce Sandford from Northwest will be headed to the Hawkeyes. So that might be a fun rivalry going from the 2 Waukee schools to in-state rivals as well.
Yeah, that's something that's always fun to watch here in Des Moines is, you know, which Iowa school is going to pick up the big stars, you know, and what's going to do for them. So we always love watching that. And you mentioned the Ankeny score, and aren't they playing Centennial?
Yep.
So it's the
big rivalry there.
Yep. That's always fun to keep an eye on.
Dowling Valley coming up here soon as well. The number 1 rivalry in the state in the game of football. Met in the state championship back in 2019. The quarterback matchup of Braden Ketcher and Hank Hemrick for the Tigers and the Maroons. A lot of really good talent on both those teams. As Dowling came into that game, Grant Williams as their starting running back, Tegan Johnson at the fullback spot, and on the other side for Valley, Eli Raridan, a sophomore for that team. Now a player that's going to be with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, you know, again, we love to see success and watch them get up into the D1 schools and take it to the next level.
Yeah. And Eli Raridan, a nice pick that, you know, if you're a tight end, you're not going to Iowa, Northwest, or Notre Dame, not a bad secondary option. You know, you've produced players like Cole Komet and Kyle Rudolph over the years. Probably tight end number 2, I would say.
Who's number 1? Iowa.
Well, when you've got T.J. Hawkinson, Noah Fant, and George Kittle, all from the same couple of years for the Hawkeyes, and Sam Laporta, the probably next great tight end from the University of Iowa, a senior this year.
Yeah, and we'll see if he takes it to the next level also.
Hawkeyes and Cyclones will get their season started tomorrow as college football finally back. We got high school football starting last week. Technically, college football starting with week 0.
You're right.
And we saw the debacle over in Europe for Nebraska against Northwestern.
Yeah, but, you know, I've just got this weird feeling that there are a lot of people here in Iowa that were pretty happy with it.
Yeah.
It's just that rivalry that's sitting there, you know. So, you know, it's always fun to pick on the neighboring states.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to see rivalries really start to build even more here in the CIML this year. The Iowa Alliance Conference now taking, a lot of those. We talked about it last week. A lot of the inner city schools, teams like Roosevelt, Hoover, East, North, kind of heading to their own conference along with Fort Dodge, Ames, Marshalltown.
Yeah.
And the CIML, you're going to have 9 schools now when you look at it, and a lot of them are going to be powerhouses in a lot of sports. We're talking Johnston, Waukee, Northwest, Dowling, Valley, Ankeny, Centennial, Urbandale. There's a lot to like about a lot of these schools.
Yeah, it's not going to be these beat up the opponent games anymore. Every game's going to be a fight, really, because you've got top talent at these local schools, the big schools. And really, it became the big schools against small schools, and it just wasn't right. I'm actually very happy that they peeled out and made their own conference. And, look at the competition now. You said it, 9 teams to fight it out with each other. And you look at all the different sports, and there's usually quite a few highly ranked. So now you got good fights going on. So, yeah, it sets up some excellent rivalries.
With the Brigade playing here out at Northwest Stadium, we're going to take a short break. We'll be back with some predictions for the second half and maybe some ideas how Northwest can work their way back into it, down 24-3 at halftime. You're watching CIML football here on Central Iowa Sports Network.
For 75 years, Holt service trucks have hit the streets of central Iowa to help customers in need. It might be for plumbing, heating, cooling, a water heater, or the usual repairs and maintenance. We've done that with quality work from quality employees who bring passion and personality to the job. That's the Holt difference. It gives me great pride to see how our company has grown from the seeds of success my grandfather planted in 1947. That's why more and more Central Iowans are saying, let Holt handle that.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
Not all used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster? Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Over 1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore, and it's going to be an interesting patio furniture season this year. We have ordered a ton of merchandise, but due to supply chain issues, it's coming in a truckload at a time all summer long. If you want the best patio furniture, check early and check often. If you want to custom order your furniture, get in here as soon as you can to give your furniture the best chance to arrive this summer. Fireplace Superstore, Iowa's best patio furniture selection, just east of I-35 on Douglas Avenue.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We are. We are so much more
than an energy company.
We are connectors,
community protectors,
and clean energy leaders.
We are
job creators,
friends and neighbors,
stewards of your dollars and savings.
Yes, we.
We are so much more.
We are the energy
behind your everyday.
And we are
obsessively,
relentlessly
at your service.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats!
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We all love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
It was a great stretch run for Dowling in the last minute of the first half. Got the touchdown on a beautiful run from Rashad Davis. As you can see on your screen now, from about 20 yards out, just stepped through a number of defenders, went untouched before he got into the end zone, before finally getting touched by Adam Gardner. And that was disastrous enough, but on the kickoff, recovered by Dowling. And we've seen the arm of Jackson Smolik, and he took full advantage. With 4 seconds left in the first half, was able to throw across the middle, find his intended receiver, Cooper Nicholson, in the end zone. Third touchdown that those two have hooked up on this season in the first two games. And those have been all three of Smolik's passing touchdowns on the year. 2 last week against number 1 ranked Southeast Polk, and then 1 this week against Northwest. And Smolik has been the story of the first half. Had over 40 yards on the ground and was picking apart Northwest defense in the passing game. And if not due to a couple drop passes, probably would have had another touchdown earlier in the first half as well.
Oh, yeah, he had a great first half. And really, Dowling with that squib kick was a huge move, you know, because they got that touchdown, that last minute of play, which is always a great momentum going into the locker room. But, boy, when you get a second shot at it, that's big. And you put up the touchdown.
Score update over in West Des Moines as Valley trailing at half 10-7 against number 1 ranked Southeast Polk. Waukee up 10-6 against Roosevelt. They are on the road over at Drake Stadium. As Waukee had a great start to their game last week. It's a very similar thing to what we saw with Northwest against Valley, as they were actually up on number 1 ranked Ankeny for a while before Ankeny just remembered who they were and scored 26 unanswered.
Shook them summer cobwebs off and decided to play football, and they ran away with it.
Both teams coming back out on the field, and something you and I talked about a little bit at the beginning of halftime is, will we see a change at quarterback? Will Wyatt Christensen possibly get an opportunity? Sam Johnson, not 100% to blame for the passing game struggles, but only 1 completed pass so far in this game. But overall, it's just been struggle after struggle for this offense in both contests in their first 2 weeks.
Yeah, we talked about it, and, it's nothing against Johnson. He's been out there trying, but you got to think you've got Christensen's out there who did play some last year. Change it up. Take a shot. If you keep going as you're going, you're going to put up under 100 yards of offense and, maybe another field goal. You can't live on that. So we'll see what the coaches think. We're not the coaches. We're just throwing ideas around. And again, it's no knock to Sam Johnson. He's going up against a great Dowling defense, and they're shutting him down. Mm-hmm. And it's not just him, the running back too. Grisham has not had much for runs.
And this, if you do have a possible backlog quarterback, this is something you got to get figured out soon, because things are not going to get any easier playing in the CIML, especially in this district.
Right.
As your first 2 games come against 2 top 5 teams. You're going to be on the road against a solid Sioux City West team. It was a team a year ago that Northwest kind of beat up on at homecoming last season in their first ever home game. But when you go to Sioux City East, or have Sioux City East come in here, they're ranked number 10 coming into this week. So your first 3 home games of the year are against number 5, number 4, and then number 10.
Yep, and then you round it out with, they dropped Johnston in there somewhere soon. And I think they were in the tops, too.
Yeah, you're going to get Johnson. You're going to get Urbandale.
Yeah, there's just no easy road. And, we talked about before we cut away for a bit that this new alliance, this conference now, it's thinned down, and it's call it the best of the best. Now they get to fight it out. So.
Yeah. CIML looks very different than it did a year ago here in Central Iowa, but a lot to like from what we've seen from Dowling so far anyway, as the Maroons offense has been clicking on almost all cylinders, as even the lone turnover of the game was on a 4th down play that was as good as a punt.
Yep. It almost didn't count. But, yeah, it's kind of what you expect out of Dowling. We knew that they were going to come out, play hard, because they did lose last week. They certainly didn't want to drop 2 in a row. And bottom line, they're Dowling. They play good football. They have a great football program, and they're putting it out there on the field tonight.
It is Sam Johnson warming up on the sideline for Northwest. So expect we'll see him here on this first drive. But we'll see if possibly Wyatt Christensen gets some playing time in at quarterback. He's actually part of the kick return unit out there, number 14.
The field, yeah. Yeah, I'm not calling for Christensen to go in. I'm just saying, do you try something different? And let's see what they can do. They're going Northwest getting the ball to start second half. Now's their opportunity.
Fondell and Carter back deep to return. Carter had a great return earlier in the game that was wiped out due to a holding call, and if he was going to get another one, now is the opportunity to try and build some momentum as we enter the third quarter.
Yep, now's time. Got to make it happen.
Schumacher, the kicker, will get this one off. It's going to be a nice deep kick. Fondell will take it right at about the 1 yard line. Gets up past the 20 before he is met by a host of defenders and unable to get past the 22. And that's where the offense will come back out. Only 1 first down for the Wolves in that first half of action.
First and 10 for the Wolves from the Northwest 22.
All right, here we go. Showtime.
So the Wolves, 5 possessions in the first half, 3 3-and-outs. As Johnson under pressure, going to put this one up. It is completed, but it's going to gain maybe 2 or 3 yards. Only the second completed pass and 6th of the season overall.
I got a completed pass, and it was kind of scramble mode there, and he did get away and get a completion. So
yeah, the big thing, you got some positive yards out of it. As Jackson Adams was the receiver on the play, got about 3 up to the 25.
Yeah, it's one of my terms. You got to believe. Ooh,
this one delivered, and it falls short of the intended receiver, Fondell. Johnson took a big hit on the play, able to get back to his feet, and that'll bring up 3rd and 7 from the 25.
Yeah, if we get a replay on here, you got to watch him get laid out. No wonder he couldn't get the ball to the receiver. No replay, but just believe us. That's all right.
So Johnson, a 3rd down, facing the offense, looking to avoid a 3-and-out to open up the third quarter. 11:43 on the clock in the third. Grisham, the lone back. They're trying to provide some extra blocking as Johnson lies this one downfield, but well over the head of the intended receiver. I think he might have been better off trying to take off and run for it.
He had open field in front of him, but he was set on getting that pass, and the guy was defended well.
Great blocking by Grisham on that outside, but Philpotts will come out for another punt.
Well, there's your 3-and-out.
This will be the 4th punt of the game for Philpott. Another one able to get away cleanly. And a lot of his punts seem to take a Northwest bounce, and a great tackle by Klunder on kick coverage. As Nicholson tried to run with the ball, but he is spun down.
Yeah, great coverage. Good coverage.
1st and 10 from the 40-yard line for the Dowling offense. As the Wolves defense looking to come up with another stop. Had a great stretch run in that second quarter before the last minute, and that defense had to be tired going into those last couple minutes of the first half. Shotgun formation. It'll be a play action pass to Davis. And it'll be completed over to the tight end, Nielsen. He's dropped for a 5-yard gain. And that's how we saw Dowling start the game off, where those short completed passes just tried to kind of warm up a little bit before they started taking some shots downfield and letting Smolik kind of cook a little bit. Three receivers out on the right side. This one handed off to Davis on the left side.
Followed his blocker well.
A little shifty back, and he's going to get into Wolves territory down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, the little guy just stayed right behind his big blocker and let him blaze a path for him. Yeah, and that was like the right tackle or something that came around.
1st and 10 from the Northwest 43.
Yeah, right tackle.
Officially to the Northwest 43-yard line as this line or offense starts to cook a little bit more. It'll be another handoff to Davis on the left side. Blockers up ahead of him, able to tiptoe that sideline, and he's going to pick up almost another 20 yards.
Good run.
As he went from about the 43 to the 26.
Good patient runner. You know, in high school you can get excited and, you know, you want to really run that ball hard, but he's got blockers out in front of him. Let the blockers pave the way, and you just stay behind him.
So back-to-back first downs on 2 straight plays for Dowling. Let's see if they look to possibly shake it up and maybe a play-action pass after 2 successful runs. Look like potential blitz coming off the sides on either side of the formation. They'll back that cornerback off and go right up the middle instead. Davis, another big run, and it looks like he might move the chains again.
Yep. Boy, they're putting some yardage down, aren't they?
So that makes it 3 straight first downs off of the legs of Rashawn Davis. Davis with 1 touchdown in this game, came with 49 seconds left in the first half before the onside kick. That wasn't even supposed to be an onside kick, but Dowling got the right bounce.
It worked.
Center receiver in motion, line up at that up back spot, pistol formation. And another one over to Davis. Blockers trying to get him outside. And Lamb was able to keep containment, as Lamb has been the top defensive player this game so far.
Yes, he
for
has.
the Wolves.
He broke through the blocks and cut off the corner.
Holds him to no gain on that play after 3 straight runs of 10-plus yards. Davis and Phillip kind of splitting the running back plays. This time Smolik will come up under center in that tight formation. Look if they try to change things up. Looking over to the sideline. And the defense trying to come up with a big stop here in their own territory down. This is another tight end around. Lamb unable to bring him down the outside. And Thompson's going to bowl for about 9-10 yards.
That's a big back running, you know.
And
that's like a fullback.
And that's the tough thing, is that if you can't stop the running game, you're going to have to key in on it, and then you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the state there under center.
Yeah, and they're switching up the plays really well. That, it keeps the defense kind of, you got to cover it all.
Trips on the left side of this formation. Smolik under center once again. And it'll be a handoff to that left side, cut back up the middle. And probably about 5 yards there for Davis again.
First down, though. Oh, I'm sorry.
So
first and goal. Yeah.
First and goal as they're going to the hurry up now. Hands it off to Davis, and he's going to get in for his second touchdown of the game. Rashawn Davis, the story of that drive. As they went to him consistently, and he picked up first down after first down before finally punching it in for the 4th touchdown of the game for the Dowling offense. And it was just good blocking up ahead of him, and he was able to plunge it in.
He wasn't touched until he crossed the goal line. So they had good blocking. That was a sure touchdown.
And Dowling really opening this game up now as the kick is up and good. That is their 3rd touchdown in just about 5 minutes of game action.
That's the Dowling that we figured.
We'll take a short break and be right back here on CISN.
All love a good win, however small or ordinary. Losing track of time, finding yourself with a few extra dollars in your pocket, soaking up the perfect Iowa day. These are the everyday delights and small victories that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the moments that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the corn they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win.
We're back here on CISN as Kickoff getting ready for Schumacher. As Northwest, the defense has kind of been broken apart, as it was the passing attack that did some damage late in the first half of action, but they went to the run game on that last touchdown drive for Dowling, and Rashawn Davis responded as he picked up about 60 yards on the ground, including punching it in from 2 yards out for his second touchdown of the game.
Yeah, the offensive line just controlled that running game. You know, they were downfield 5 yards with the running back following them.
And we'll see what Northwest offense can do as they'll come back out after this kickoff. Fondell will take it from about the 5-yard line. Got stopped around the 22 last time, and that's about where he'll get brought down this time, maybe a couple yards upfield to the 23. Johnson still in at quarterback for Northwest. Grisham joining him in the backfield. As Northwest, if they want to try and make a comeback in this game, they need something big and something now.
Yeah, they got to put it together here. They can't afford to not have offense.
Especially since when on the other side, the offense has really hit their groove. This one completed out And it's going to be a first down, just the second of the game for Northwest. And that picks up about 17 yards in the passing game.
Now that was a good play.
Will Koenig able to haul that one in.
And, a good thing on Sam that, again, I'm going to emphasize, it's not been his fault. But like that pass, he put it on the proper side of the receiver so that he could keep on running. He didn't have to spin around.
Grisham will take this handoff right up the middle, goes nowhere in a hurry as he is dropped at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and 10. As Northwest, as we've mentioned many times, has struggled moving the ball, but that passing attack showing some signs of life on that last play.
Yep. And let's hope they can keep doing it. It's not a one and we'll see another one down the road. They got to keep it happening.
Johnson looking over to his one is picked
Oh,
off.
No.
Open field ahead of him. Johnson trying to make the touchdown-saving tackle.
And he does.
And he does. As Trig Troyer comes up with the interception.
That's rough because he had his receiver there and it looked like a linebacker jumped it.
Excuse me, that was Joe Hughes who was able to slide over from that middle linebacker or side linebacker spot and just read the eyes of Johnson. Second interception of the season thrown by Johnson. And now, 1st and goal.
Yep, I'll give that one to the defense, not blame it on Johnson.
So Joe Hughes sets his offense up with 1st and goal opportunity.
What do you want to bet they'll run it? We've got...
So it looks like it is going to be
more in the backfield.
Yep, and it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and Cataldo takes it in for the score.
Yeah, it didn't look like the same personnel out there, and I was trying to look at numbers.
And Cataldo makes this a huge deficit now, and we are a point after attempt away from a running clock for the remainder of this second half.
Schumacher in to attempt the extra point.
Kick is up, and it is good from Schumacher. 38-3, 7:19 left in the second half, in the third quarter.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Schumacher will come back out for another kickoff, as his legs got to be getting tired at this point, as this is his third kickoff of the second half already, and we're not even halfway through the third quarter.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
The
But
Joe
he just says, I'll keep kicking it.
The Joe Hughes interception set up a 1st and goal opportunity for Dowling, and they punched it in on the first play. This one goes into the end zone as Fondell catches it, and it'll be a touchback.
Yeah, I noticed on the last kick, he caught it like right at the goal line, but he didn't break the plane, where he really could have let it go and just take it out. And this time, he broke the plane.
Fresh off the interception, Johnson will bring the offense back out. Second pick thrown on the year. First turnover of the game for the Wolves after 5 last week. This one handed over to the right side. Grisham looked like he had a full head of steam. He got tripped up and only picks up about 2 yards.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to go for some, and there's an arm coming in and gets his legs.
And Grisham, a strong running back, has been unable to really get anything going here tonight. And that last possession, it looked like Northwest was going to put some together.
Right.
And then 2 plays later, an interception thrown ends up in another Dowling touchdown. Running clock now with a 35-point deficit. Johnson looking to take up the middle, able to step out of a tackle opportunity. He'll puck up about another 4 yards, past the 25, up to the 26.
Yeah, and that interception play was really tough because he had an open receiver. He had a good read on it, and linebacker jumped it. But that changes the play.
So Northwest looking to move the change, 3rd and 2.
Oh, no, blown it dead.
And we'll see what the call is here as it goes against Northwest. They're going to lose 5 yards. And it's going to be a false start. That's a big loss there as they were looking to move the chains, but instead will be backed up to 3rd and 7. Ankeny taking the lead on Centennial 17-10, and Waukee maintaining the lead 17-6 over Roosevelt. As it's been an interesting set of games so far. Johnson mentioned earlier the early win against Urbandale 24-7, and then Southeast Polk taking on Valley 17-7, winning over in West Des Moines. And finally, in the Iowa Alliance, Ames winning 14-13, as this pass is going to fall incomplete. Really no one in the area as Johnson took another hit in the backfield. Now bring the punt team back out with Philpott.
And they got 3 yards on this drive.
Yeah, would have had 7 total, and an opportunity for a first down before the penalty.
Right. And that was one of our keys. You know, they had a lot of penalties that hurt them in key situations last week, and, you know, penalties will hurt you. Another nice kick.
This one takes another Northwest bounce.
Yeah, he gets that downfield roll.
Is it bad to call the punter the team MVP?
Let's not do that. But he is getting some great kicks.
Like I mentioned, the running clock in effect now as Dowling will bring the offense back out. And got to wonder how long we may see.
Well, on that last touchdown, they had bench players in. The quarterback and running back were bench players. So
I think that was for a special formation.
Well, it could have been, yeah.
Because we saw that also earlier in the game. But Smolik not out there to open up this drive. And his night actually might be done with a 35-point lead, running clock.
Yep. You protect your players, you know, at this stage and this score. Protect your players. Get some experience for your other guys.
As this is going to be a bad snap. And the new quarterback, Cataldo, is going to be dropped for a big loss.
Tackle for a loss, Chase Lamb, number 32.
They must put in backup center, too, because that was a bad snap.
The new quarterback, Dante Cataldo, is a junior this year for Dowling.
And this is good for Dowling because, you know, it gets some play under his belt, and you're ready in case of injuries or, you know, other blowouts. You let your quarterback get a rest.
About 3.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. Cataldo in at quarterback. Turn and hand this one off. And actually he's going to keep it, trying to get to the outside. As we saw in the touchdown run, he's got some ability to run with the football. As the blocking wasn't really set up, a lot of the receivers on the outside looked confused at what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, I was wondering if it was a broken play or something. It just didn't look right.
So 3rd and 14 now for Dowling. 15 minutes of football left here tonight. Reminder, Saturday kickoff tomorrow. The Iowa Hawkeyes, Iowa State Cyclones, UNI Panthers, Drake Bulldogs, and everyone in between will be back in action to open up the 2022 college football season. Has another low snap. Cataldo delivers this one to the right side. Has a completed pass out to Reichart.
Probably got about 5 on that, so they got about 8 to go.
And the punt team will come out. And I think this might only be the second time we've seen the punt team come out tonight.
I was wondering about that. Yeah, early on they punted, but they haven't since.
Yeah, I think the only time we saw them was when it was the end of the first quarter, when the short punt set up the field goal for Northwest. As Clunder back deep to return.
Oh,
and it's going to be a high punt.
Get to him, and yep.
And he's going to throw it out the back of the end zone for a safety.
Sorry, I shouldn't be, rooting one way or the other, but it's just natural to jump on the play.
So that'll make the score 38-5.
Yeah, that one kind of hurt. It would have been interesting to see what they would do, but Dowling still got to kick the ball away. And actually, they end up kicking it further back, so it's better field position for Northwest.
We've got 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. I believe running clock should still be in effect.
Well, the 2 points, does that change the numbers? I don't know.
I think usually after you hit the 35-point mark, the running clock's usually in effect permanently. But I will never call myself an expert, especially since the rules change every year. In high school
is tough, and we watch a lot of NFL and college, and high school's just got a few little twists to them that we don't sit with the rule book in front of us.
So the free kick will come from the 20-yard line. So Northwest should get good field position coming out of this play. Carter Fondell will be back deep to return.
Yeah, and they'll go with the place kick instead of the punt. It depends. Some teams will do it one way, others do it the other way.
Schumacher will look to tee this one off from his own 20-yard line. Nice kick that'll be taken as Fondell and Carter were both going for it. As Fondell will get a good return up near midfield before finally going down inside of Dowling territory. Second best starting field position that Northwest has had all game.
Yep, that helps a bunch.
And it actually looks like the running clock is no longer in effect.
I was thinking that if it dropped back under the spread, it would stop the running clock. Because that way, if a team is making a run, they get more of a shot.
This one handed off to Grisham on the outside, and he's going to be almost dropped for a loss, but able to get ahead of steam and get past the line of scrimmage. And that's going to be a lot of running done for just a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, well, that's some good running there. I thought he was down on that first hit, but he bounced it.
Caleb James returning to the field at that up back position. Haven't seen any of Will Retz really in this game. The team starting tight end a week ago. And then someone we hope we get to see later this season, Jed Barth, left the game early on last week as Johnson looking to deliver this one downfield. And it is going to be hauled in. Schifos able to come down with the ball inside the 15.
That was nice. And there should be a flag on the field because that defender climbed up on his shoulders. But he got the catch.
But like I mentioned, hope to see Jed Barth back on the field later this season. A shoulder injury, I believe, a week ago.
I was going to ask you who it was that got injured last week. So, yeah, I always want to see him back.
Yep. Johnson turns and hands this one faked, and he's trying to get to the outside, gets inside the 15, inside the 10, down inside the 8-yard line.
Here's a good shake and bake, and then a nice block.
Running around the right side until he's stopped by Nick Frericks, number 23 for the Maroons.
It'll be second down. Need to get to the 5 to move the chains once again.
Now this is one you got to score on it. You got to make sure this one goes as a score.
And there's a penalty flag actually, and it's going to be an illegal block against Northwest. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty, a block below the waist.
I didn't even see a flag out there. Wow, that hurt. Yeah, I thought they were marking the ball and they were good to go.
Result of the penalty, first and 25 now for Northwest.
Low snap. Johnson trying to make something out of a broken play, able to complete it. I had mentioned we hadn't seen Will Retz, but here he is on this play, and he'll get him back down to around the original line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up about 2nd and 12.
Nice pick up there.
And Kerner, numbers 23
Yeah, and Johnson even put that ball on the ground, picked it up, and got up and fired it.
Gain of about 13. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
And we've got end of third.
It is the end of the third quarter. We are going to take a short break, and we'll be back with the final 12 minutes of football here on CISN.
Used vehicles are created equal.
DeArmond certified used vehicles have a big advantage.
What sets us apart is that all used vehicles receive a 175-point inspection.
Carfax report, 2 oil changes, collision deductible coverage, and wheel dent and windshield repair.
Also, all DeArmond certified come with 2 warranties. A 1-year 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper and a 2-year 100,000-mile powertrain. DeArmond Ford Indianola, DeArmond Automotive Knoxville, DeArmondAuto.com.
Mornings. They can be hectic.
Let's go!
So can your car, so to get a free pickup, drop-off, or delivery, head over to Honest Wrenches. And their loaner vehicles?
No extra charge.
Find your peace of mind with even more wonderful services.
Every vehicle that comes in gets a full visual inspection and a 5-year, 50,000-mile warranty. No extra charge.
Head on over to Honest Wrenches. No extra charge, and it's how service should be.
We're back here on CISN. The fourth quarter upon us. Northwest trying to finally put a touchdown up in this game, down by 33 as we enter the fourth quarter, 38-5. We're the beneficiary of a snap over the head of the punter, Joe Vidane, and he threw it out of the back of the end zone to avoid a defensive touchdown. So 2nd and about 13 coming up from the 17-yard line. After a 15-yard penalty, a nice completion to Will Retz, able to get them back into a favorable spot. And Northwest, this has been the best drive they've had offensively all game. A huge completion to Shifos, one of the biggest plays of the season for him.
And we're still waiting for, there we go.
Out of the TV timeout.
Yep.
Receiver on either side of the formation with the tight end going in motion. Johnson, a low snap again. We'll hand this one off. And nice head of steam, and back past the original line of scrimmage is the running back, Brady Grisham.
Tackle made by Ben Hoover for Dowling, number 44.
As Northwest looking to try and at least build some momentum as they'll be on the road to take on Sioux City West next week. And the offense now facing 3rd and 8 from the 13-yard line. Need to get to the 5 to convert. Jackson Adams going in motion. We're going to play action pass, looking over to the side of the field, almost intercepted.
Pass is incomplete.
As the offensive player in the area, Grisham, had to knock the ball away, playing defensive back.
Yeah, that wasn't a good pass. That hit the defender in the hands.
Carter and Shifos will come back out onto the field as Montgomery and Retz head to the sideline. So 4 receivers split out. It is Shifos, Garter, and Fondell over on the near side. Adams over on the far side. Looking to the end zone, has Shifos open. What a catch by Shifos!
He laid out and got that. Oh, my.
What a catch by the senior wide receiver, Cooper Shifos.
I thought for sure that was out of reach.
Touchdown strike. Number 7, Cooper Shifos.
Shifos able to haul that one in. And what
a
effort by the
Good
senior.
catch. Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it's more for pride than prize at this point.
Hey, take what you got. That was a beautiful play. Good job.
And that'll bring Gearhart out as the kick is up and good.
Point by Jack Gerhardt, number 36 is good.
A beautiful drive from Northwest. See if they can take any of that momentum. We'll keep it right here. And what a play. Can't get over that. Cooper Shifos, you know, not a whole lot to play for, but we're going to watch that highlight once again as a play action pass.
Just a nice lob out there, but I thought he overthrew him. That was pretty.
And again, you know, game well out of hand at this point, but Northwest got to be happy with that drive and score.
give them credit. Some nice passes are happening. That's a big play. That's good. Now you believe, hey, you got a passing game. Go to it. Use it.
Dowling will get the football back. I expect we'll see some more of Dante Cataldo at quarterback. As the backup QB had a rushing touchdown earlier in the game. 11-17 left on the board. As Dowling still in control of this one, 38-12.
I don't have it in front of me, but it seems like Northwest started 0-2 last year, too.
Yeah, with losses to Valley and Dowling.
There you go. It's hard to start the season up against buzzsaws, but, that's the conference you're in.
Especially when you still got Johnston, Urbandale, Ankeny.
Southeast Polk. That's rough.
The CIML is a brutal mistress. As this kickoff is going to go into the end zone. And Cataldo in the offense will come out after the touchback.
But, we talk about Northwest having to go up against that, but all the teams have to go up against that same type of matchup.
I will say, though, it's really helpful when you are one of those schools.
Well, yeah, if you've got the strength on both sides of the ball and you're consistent.
Like if you are an Ankeny or a Southeast Polk,
yeah.
And that's one less game that you have to play against an Ankeny or Southeast Polk.
Yeah.
Kind of like Northwest in basketball last year.
Yeah.
So Cataldo will lead the offense out. Shotgun formation as they take over at their own 20-yard line. Play action pass. He delivers this one outside for Daniels. It'll be completed. Gain of about 6.
That's another play that I've noticed where you got 2 receivers out there, you got 1 defender, and he's kind of playing either one of them. But it leaves someone open.
Mm-hmm.
Gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Cataldo will turn, hand this one off. And a nice run up the middle will be enough to move the chains. And continuing to go. Picks up about 10 yards on a second down.
I think he got 5 with the pile.
Jack Moore in at running back. Gets the carry. Picks up 10.
Chase Slam.
As the game continues to tick down. 10.5 minutes left.
Led that tackle. Several other Wolves involved.
Trey Wilson will split out here on the near side of the field. Moore in at running back once again. 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Another handoff to Moore. Couldn't get anything up the middle. Bounced it outside. Nice run up there and good protection by the offensive line.
I'll tell you, I heard the crowd yelling, and I was kind of saying it is on the edge of the line. There was a wicked hold there, and there's no flag.
And one of the nice things, though, for Dowling is they're keeping that starting offensive line in. That way, you get an accurate representation of what you're going to get
right
for some of your other players.
Well, yeah, when you got your key players, your quarterback, your running back, your receivers, you got to give them that kind of a shot to practice. Sorry, I mean cut you off there.
Cataldo brings this one down, completes the pass out, and he's got the first down and diving forward into enemy territory as it's completed to Hunter Crutchlow.
Good execution by a backup quarterback.
They'll mark him out of bounds right at the 50. So 1st and 10 for Dowling. Clock continues to tick away. Northwest got their first touchdown of the game on their last drive on a beautiful catch by Cooper Scheifus. Play action pass. Cataldo looking downfield, has the completion. As that is a rocket delivered into the receiver, Michael Reichart.
Yeah, once again, backup quarterback, outstanding play.
And if there's anything we know about Dowling, when one quarterback is about to graduate, they got another good one waiting in the wings.
Yes, they do. That's what I was looking at on the depth chart from last year of who graduated, and it's like it's kind of scattered.
And if it says anything, Smolik went down with injury. Jay Steingreiber stepped in and still took this team to the state playoffs.
Right.
And Cataldo looking like he may be the next big one as he's got a big run here down inside the 20.
Number 2.
You know, we were talked about it many times, is that the Dowling program itself is outstanding. I mean, they're just strong.
One of the best coaches in Iowa history, and Tom Wilson, as Cataldo will bring this one down, trying to step out of a tackle, but he's going to be dropped for a loss here on first down.
And I like the way you said it. It's not just developing the seniors, is the underclassmen get developed coming up, so they're ready to step into that starting role. So,
Second and 11.
It'll be shotgun formation here, coming up from about the 19-yard line. As Cataldo going to hand this one off to Moore, goes right up the middle, steps out of a couple tackles, and he's going to be down to the 5.
Jack Moore, number 31, the running back.
Run of about 14, and another first down for Dowling as they are threatening for another score.
Gardner, number 45. Owen Klunder,
As this
the running
offensive
back.
line has just been winning at the point of attack all game long.
First down.
And hands it off to Moore again. And he's going to be dragged down by
Moore
Adam
with the
Gardner.
ball carrier. Tackle by Gardner again, number 45.
So Gardner able to save the touchdown. As Dowling's threatening
Makes it
again.
2nd and goal from the 4.
And the back comes onto the field as Crutchlow. They'll split him and Thompson over to the left side as Moore flips to the left side as well. Cataldo rolling over to the left side, following his blockers, and he's going to be held out of the end zone at the last second, and it'll bring up 3rd and goal.
On the carry, Chase Long
As this next play should take us past the halfway point of this 4th and final quarter.
3rd down goal from the Northwest 1.
Cataldo comes up under center, and quarterback sneak right up the middle. And it'll be determined, and it is a touchdown for Dowling. Once again, second rushing touchdown of the game for Cataldo, and as they just build onto this lead, as they push their score up into the 40s. And a new kicker out in the game as well. Kick is up and good as the sophomore Marty Blount able to come out and knock this one through. We'll take a short break.
All levels.
We'll take a short break and be right back here with the conclusion of tonight's game.
1,300 vehicles on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. If we don't have it, you can build it. Newly expanded service department means we're hiring. See the openings on WaukeeChevy.com. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
I'm off to college. Oh, rats.
Hi, Joe the Car Guy with a reminder. Before you send your kids off to school, set up an appointment with Westside Auto. We check everything from tires to belts, fluids, hoses, wipers, and lights. 44 inspection points to help prevent that oh rats moment for your students.
Call us today to set up your appointment. We'll have your kids off to school saying,
For the best, head west.
Westside Auto.
Back here out on the field as Blunt's going to come to kick this one away. Sophomore that can't be standing more than about 5'7" out there, it appears. And he actually is listed at 5'7".
There you go.
But some excellent playing time, and you know what? You go to Dowling, you got to be doing something right as a kicker.
Right. And again, develop the underclassmen.
Kickoff is up and away. It'll be fielded up by Grisham at around the 19. Looking to get a good return on here. He'll be down around the 35 as he's finally brought down.
Good return.
Northwest will take over.
For Dowling made by number 44. That's Ben Hoover. 1st and 10 Northwest.
Johnson and Grisham leading the offense back out. Score back up to a 33-point lead. As Johnson going to drop back under pressure, able to step up. He's going to take off and run with it. He'll get about 5 yards on first down up to the 40-yard line.
Yep, good timing to pull that down because he was about to get hit.
Clock ticks under halfway through this fourth quarter. Northwest, 2nd and 5 from the 40-yard line. Johnson delivers this one over to the right side. This one completed to Scheifus again. And I think it's going to be just short of the first. And that'll bring up 3rd and 1 from the 44.
Wait a second. Yeah, the referee on the far sideline waved it off.
So I guess they are going to call it incomplete, so it'll be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I saw him wave his arms, and I was like, calling that incomplete. Maybe he bobbled it going to the sideline. We couldn't see it.
So Northwest will line it up to do it again. 5:40 left in tonight's contest. 3rd and 5 from the 40-yard line. 2 receivers out left. And that is where he's going to look as this ball is completed. Another nice catch out there. This one for Will Koenig. Koenig's had a couple nice plays.
Yeah, really good play.
So Koenig gets the first as they move the ball into Dowling territory. Johnson dropping back, looking, has someone deep, overthrows Jackson Adams, the intended receiver.
I don't know if he got too excited on that one. Too bad, because if he could have let him right, he had him.
And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. And that's been one of the things is that Sam Johnson has a good arm, but the touch is one of the places he needs to improve. And even on that touchdown throw, Scheifus was wide open as they're trying to set up the running back screen. And Johnson got tripped up, fumbled the ball, but able to jump back on top of it.
Yeah, he almost missed the touchdown because he basically overthrew the receiver.
And this will be 3rd and 22, I believe.
Yeah, that one hurt. He was going to scramble and just kind of slip or to get tripped.
Yep. And they say ground can't cause fumble, but in that case, it can.
Yep.
As Johnson looking downfield, lobs this one up. Fondell just overthrows him. Would have been another touchdown.
Not too bad. And, you know, he had to kind of lob it out there and let the receiver run under it. It was just a little bit too far.
Like I said, Johnson, great arm.
Yep.
A little bit more touch. And we had a couple touchdowns last week, and he's had probably 2 of them he's overthrown here tonight that could have been big plays.
Yeah, and that one, he had to get rid of it when he did. He just didn't get the right touch on it.
4:48 left in tonight's contest. Philpott will come in to punt it away as Eli Moses comes on late onto the field. And it's going to be a low snap. Philpott able to get it away. Another beautiful punt. As Dowling's going to let this one bounce, and it is going to go into the end zone.
Too much momentum.
And that's been one of the things, though, that with Philpott's punts is that they always bounce in Northwest's direction. I think both weeks we have not seen one that has bounced backwards.
Well, and it's the way he kicks it. It kind of has that front roll, and it just goes. Well, what did we say last week? I think he had like a 60-yarder or something like that. So
the one that was down at the half-yard line.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he's got some great kicks. And it helps, you know, if the offense isn't moving that ball, at least you can flip the field. You're not doing a 20-yard punt or something that hurts the defense.
As Cataldo will lead the offense back out. And actually, it's going to be a new quarterback in as this one handed up the middle. Cataldo, a pair of touchdowns here tonight. And Jack Jepson will come in to get some opportunities.
Well, there's that depth chart at work.
Jepson, a 6'3" junior this year, number 17. Serves as the team's holder as well.
Tackled by number 26, Carter Blakely.
Blakely comes up, gets the tackle on the play. Another score update as Waukee leading Roosevelt 24-13. And Southeast Polk taking it to Valley 24-7. And in a close one up in Ankeny, the Hawks leading the Jaguars 17-10. And what has been a hard-fought back-and-forth game between the Hawks and the Jaguars.
Yeah, you'd expect that out of them, and you're getting it.
Short carry up the middle, brings up third and manageable.
Tackle for Northwest by number 33, Cole Lynch.
And I think we've seen a couple of the backups start to come in on the defense as well, as Eli Moses, Chase Lamb, Harry Linen, those three no longer out there on the field.
No, avoid the injuries, give your backup some play time, experience.
Jepson hands it off again. As cutting through the defense is the new running back, number 36, Trick Troyer.
And they're going to give him a first or not?
It looks like they are going to mark it a first down.
Oh, they did, yeah.
But there is going to be a penalty against Dowling, and they'll back him up 5 yards. And they'll redo third down here with about 3:17 left on the clock.
Well, let's keep them working for it.
3rd and 8 for Dowling.
The penalty moving back to 3rd and 8 with the running clock. And we'll be under 3 minutes before this play gets off. Jepson, play action pass. Looking downfield, and he's going to be dragged down for the sack.
There's a big play.
Jack Jepson, the new quarterback for Dowling, is sacked.
As he is sacked by sophomore Dylan Manning, coming from that defensive end position.
No, it's got to feel good.
Yeah. As he was just able to contain that outside, and as Japson rolled out, Manning was able to grab a hold of him and didn't let go.
Yeah, he kind of ran into the defense.
So that'll bring the punter, Vidane, back out. Vidane, high snap again. He's able to get this one away cleanly. And it's going to be taken by the defensive back, Klunder.
Fair catch on the punt by Owen Klunder.
And the offense will come back out right around the Dowling 46-yard line.
From the Dowling 46.
Oh.
Just over 2 minutes left in tonight's contest. As Northwest turned the ball over on, or had the punt last time out. Pistol formation. As this one taken by the backup running back, Caleb James. And he gets a nice carry on first down.
15, new running back into the game for the Wolves on the carry.
Score 45-12 as we got under 2 minutes left in tonight's contest. But this time we usually award our player of the game. And I've got two here tonight. One for the defense, one for the offense. Cooper Scheifus, the touchdown catch for Northwest.
Oh, yes, yes. He earned it just with that one catch.
And then on the other side, it has been a great game for Chase Lamb.
Yep.
Number 32 on the defense has had some great plays. As James is finally brought down, he's got enough for the first.
Yeah, we called Lamb's number quite often early in the game and while he was in the game.
And Dowling has had a host of great defensive plays. Joe Hughes with the big interception that ended up setting the touchdown that really put this game away. We saw Smolik really control the game in the air. They got 2 rushing touchdowns from Rashad Davis, another rushing touchdown from C.J. Phillip. As Christensen actually now into the game, he's going to take off and run with this one. Big hole on the right side.
He's got some open field.
And he's going to get in for the touchdown.
There you go.
Wyatt Christensen with the score.
Nothing like a broken play to make it work.
33-yard touchdown run.
As saw no one open, was under pressure, stepped up, and said it before, Wyatt Christensen, a lot of speed as well.
Yeah, the speed got him away from the defense. That was a good job.
They'll bring Gearhart out to punt or to attempt the PAT. It's always great when you get to see the backups put some points up. As Gearhart knocks this one through, makes it 45-19.
Yeah, it's not like being an underclassman and get your name in the record books.
And Christensen had a couple great plays last year at the quarterback spot. And after that touchdown run, solidifies himself as a solid backup QB option. If Johnson ends up struggling at any point or goes down with an injury, you've got a solid backup who has real game experience, not just here tonight, but last season as well as a sophomore.
Yeah, and again, personally, I would have considered going with him in the second half just to shake it up and try something different. If your defense has kind of figured out Sam Johnson, well, now they didn't practice for Christensen. You hope things like that, and we'll see. We'll see what they got next week.
Yep, as Northwest will be on the road to take on Sioux City West next week. And then back here against Sioux City East, the number 10 team in the Des Moines Register's Week 2 rankings.
Yeah, it doesn't get much easier, You got a tough run. We've covered that a few times tonight.
Philpott will kick this one away once again. This one will be caught in the end zone for the touchback.
Yeah, I noted it last week, too, is that nice kickoffs that they're hitting the end zone with them. We don't see that a lot in high school necessarily. Well, student sections are still going after each other, so it's still a fun rivalry going on.
That's always something that is great in high school football in the state of Iowa is a lot of teams travel well, especially here in the CIML where, if you're not driving to travel to Council Bluffs
right,
or Sioux City or Fort Dodge, those crosstown rivalries turn into pretty big things.
Yeah, and that's great. And really, I believe that's what CIML was originally created for, is to put these in-town rivals up against each other.
Greg Troyer will take the handoff. Goes nowhere on the play. He'll have to get at least one more playoff before the conclusion of this game. But Dowling will move to 1-1 after the opening season loss last week to Southeast Polk. While Northwest, after a buzzsaw in the first 2 weeks, losing in a close game last week, get blown out here at home. As they're going to lose by 26 points here tonight. And this game was not as close as the final score would indicate outside of the last couple of touchdowns here late in the game for Northwest. Dowling was in control of this game and could have put up at least 60 points tonight if they'd wanted to.
Oh, yeah, if they'd kept the starting lineups in there, it'd be a different game.
And that will do it here tonight. Final score in tonight's contest, Dowling comes on the road and wins this one 45-19 over the home Northwest Wolves. Wolves fall to 0-2 and will be on the road against Sioux City West. Players of the game for Northwest here tonight, Chase Lamb on the defensive side and Cooper Scheifus on the offensive side. We'll take a short break and be right back with some post-game stats and analysis before we wrap this one up.
It's the end of the week, isn't it?
Free Godfather's Pizza begins with the download. Order through my new online ordering app and start earning free pizza and sides. It's easy. Download the Godfather's Pizza online ordering app today. Do it.
Do you know what the best part about being a dog is? You can hear disaster before it even happens. You know what they say about disaster. Sometimes it can inspire a symphony. An honest day's work deserves an honest day's treat.
No extra charge.
And that is why we choose Honest Wrenches. No extra charge. And it's how service should be.
Why do businesses succeed? The Better Business Bureau sees the traits of successful businesses every day. It's not easy, but it is simple. The BBB fosters trust between Iowa businesses and consumers.
Visit bbb.org.
We're back here for post-game stats and analysis for tonight's game. Looking at the scoring breakdown, it was a lot of points on the board as the two teams combined for 64 tonight's contest. As Dowling got the scoring started off with a touchdown, 6:48 left in the first quarter. They took the game right from the beginning as they took their opening drive, had it for over 5 minutes, put the touchdown in on C.J. Phillip, 8-yard TD run. And then that was pretty much it for the entire first quarter. The defenses battled it out. A Mackey interception for Northwest on a 4th down was a big play for Northwest. But the offense for Northwest struggled throughout today's game, not getting their first down until 11:24 left in the second quarter. They would end that drive on a Gearhart field goal after starting at the Dowling 32-yard line. And then is when Dowling started to figure things out, as a 37-yard field goal for them put it back to a 10-3 score. Northwest would go 3 and out again, and then Dowling would drive down a 10-yard touchdown pass. Smolik, a couple big passes, capping it off with a Rashad Davis 21-yard touchdown run with 49 seconds left in the half. The next kickoff would be fumbled by Northwest, and Dowling would jump on top of it and then go down, and with 4 seconds left in the half, it would be a big touchdown pass from Smolik to Nicholson to make it 24-3 going into the halftime break. Northwest a 3 and out coming out of the halftime. And then a big drive for Rashawn Davis as he had 3 straight first down runs and then capped it off with a 2-yard TD run to make it 31-3. And then on the next drive, Joe Hughes would come up with an interception for Dowling that would lead it to a touchdown on the first play, a quarterback keeper for Cataldo. From 2 yards out to make it 38-3 with 7:19 left in the third. Northwest another 3 and out. And then the Dowling reserves would come into play. And then a high snap would lead to a safety on the punt attempt, 38-5. 2 minutes left in the third. Northwest would put something together as they would start to finally get some offense. A couple of big plays to Scheifus and to Retz, and capped it off with a laying out catch for Scheifus to cap it off with a touchdown. And then finally, Cataldo, a couple big passes and runs. He will end with a touchdown run. And then Christensen, the backup quarterback for Northwest, coming out with just about a minute left in the game, a 40-yard touchdown run for him. Final score, 45-19. Northwest drops this one and moves to 0-2. Dowling 1-1 coming off the loss last week to Southeast Polk. And we are excited to have more Northwest football coming up, but it is not going to get any easier as they go forward.
That's right. They're going to go on the road for a couple games and come back. And, this week they're really going to have to talk about what they can do to change it up. They got to be able to move that ball.
And we saw the pass game continue to struggle a little bit. The Scheifus plays on the big play on the touchdown, as well as the 40-yard catch, were really the big plays for them in this game, but still got to find some consistency offensively as teams are taking away the run game and the pass game continues to struggle. But plenty of time between now and next Friday to try and figure something out on the road next week, so we will be back here in a couple of weeks as Northwest will be scheduled to celebrate homecoming here at Northwest Stadium. Final score tonight, 45-12. For my broadcast partner, Gary French, I'm Tyler French, signing off here on Central Iowa Sports Network. We'll see you next time.